Yes, it's Sunday night, and nothing else really to do but to come on live and talk about cases. But apparently nobody's getting a notification. Maybe I should try it again. I'm just gonna stop it because there's only 2 people. There isn't any. Okay, there's 4 now. Did any of you guys get a notification? Okay, so it came late. Damn YouTube, I'll tell you what, man. Hello. Yeah, was out golfing today. I was pissed off because my friend made a tee time right at the end of the PGA Championship when Tiger Woods was on a charge, but he didn't win, but I think he tied for 2nd. Yeah, the only problem is, Cynthia, if there's only 12 people watching, I don't know, it doesn't do me much good, you know what I mean? You have to have a bunch of people watching. Like if I'm going to spend 2 hours or something talking and there's 6 people watching it, you know, it feels like YouTube made a mistake and didn't put out a notification. But now it's at 38, so maybe there are a few more people watching. But anyways, I actually don't have anything to, you know, no breaking news or anything. I just thought maybe it'd be cool to do a, you know, let people call in again and either discuss the Mollie Tibbetts case again or any other case that you want to discuss. How's that sound? So anybody can call in that number. Hey, Vic. Yeah, my screen only shows 43 watching. But yes, no breaking news on Mollie Tibbetts. What did you guys think of the new personal paranormal video? I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't have very many photographs or anything to work with, so I just used Street View. Back to the oldie but goodie. That's right. Scotland. I thought it was kind of trippy because I could picture what she was saying. At 11 o'clock at night, none of those shops are going to be open. The lady didn't refuse to get the ride, but then refused the cab when it got there. And then just in seconds that it took for people to run down the stairs to see where she might have gone, she's not there anymore. And the umbrella's sitting in the bus stop the next day. Is it 9:30 a.m. like the local time, Daro? So I guess that'd be 7:30 my what is it, 2 hours? I'm behind 2 hours, I think. So what does this post have to do? Is it new today or the same post we've seen? Is that link you just put new? Kind of looks like it's older. I mean, is there anything new in the article when you read it? Yeah, I don't know about that, Cynthia. Probably right, because that's usually the MO, but I don't know. I'm not feeling like she's dead, but I don't know. Maybe that's just my fault. Yeah. See, I think that's what I was thinking too, that it was later, because I saw somebody else post about the time of the press conference. Wow, that's the music Fox News is putting on the... Oh, jeez. I mean, I can understand, like, someone like me, a YouTuber, doing that, but... Yeah, so what time is it for me, the press conference on the West Coast? I think I was 2 hours behind. Let's see, Bill Hammer of Fox News spoke with two reporters, Andrew Keeper and Christina Corbin, covering a mystery that has gripped the nation. On the latest episode of Hammer Time, the Anchors podcast, he asked Keeper and Corbin what they had discovered while hunting for clues and talking to family members trying to solve the mystery of the Mollie Tibbetts. Oh, I wonder if we can go listen to that podcast. Probably can't play it, but, you know, the whole thing. They discussed Mollie's father, Rob, who Hemmer said is holding on to hope. In cases... Oh, boy. Hello.
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 Hey, is this Gray?
Yeah.
Hello, it's Emily.
Cool. Emily from...
I'm actually calling from your neck of the woods.
I know, I was looking at
Oregon.
that. Yeah, I saw the number. I was like, whoa, that's from my neck of the woods.
Yes, yes. So I'm excited I finally caught you live. I wanted to call in and give my theory and maybe talk about some other cases.
Okay, cool. Do I know who you are in real life, or you just happen to live in my neck of the woods?
Well, I don't think you know me. I
Oh.
don't recognize your face, but
Well, I used to know somebody named Emily, so I was just. But you're not the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people named Emily.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a popular name.
Yeah. All right. So what's your theory?
Okay, my theory is that she was taken while out running, and I think that from what I've seen, maybe heard, that maybe somebody was watching her, perhaps, and they just kind of caught her on one of those side streets, and perhaps maybe they had a spouse that was out of town during the time, and maybe they just thought it was a great opportunity. They knew that she did that run often, so that's kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like the most basic kind of what the information that we're seeing so far would lead you to believe.
Right. I think just the feeling of people calling in and saying, well, gosh, I've seen this girl run by so many times, and she stopped running by or whatever. It kind of seems like in that part of the town, maybe, it's common for people to sit outside and, hang out and relax and enjoy the weather. And
yeah, everybody does.
A lot of people did that, right? And so
Right.
if you're a creepy person and perhaps you just have this desire to want somebody, unfortunately, maybe that's what had happened to her. I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think it's
I don't
something.
think that.
I think it's something kind of like that, but maybe it's somebody that. I mean, I think she was taken. I mean, watch tomorrow. We're gonna all find out. Oh my God, she really was at home doing homework late at night. So I just hate
Right.
the way everything's moving around all the time. Okay, so right now my theory is that she was taken while jogging, and
Right.
but I think it could very well be somebody that she knew, because it's kind of hard to, even though she's small, to take an adult, just sort of grab them and like get them in a car in a town that has a lot of people that are sitting out watching. Now did she run?
Right.
Did she run in a weird spot like out here somewhere? I mean, I don't know if you can see my screen, but
Well, and then for my mind to go that way, I think that perhaps maybe, they saw her on a street that they knew perhaps that no one would see, and perhaps maybe like a taser coming up beside her, grabbing her, and then, she's in the back of the car, nobody can see. They perhaps maybe knew that the hog farmer guy maybe lived out that area, drove by, threw out the phone and the watch, kind of to throw the investigation off, and then drove back into town, drive up into their driveway, go into the garage, and, she's not seen again.
yeah, I mean, I think it's a little like, kind of a stretch to think that, oh, they drove down there knowing there was a hog farmer, and just so their phones would ping, and that gives them a really high level of, like, they're really trying, like, thinking of all these different things. Like, oh, there's a hog farmer that has a bad record, so we're going to drive by out there. I don't know if I would throw that into the mix. I mean, it could just be.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know what you're saying. You're trying to say somebody that she knew, so that then all of a sudden, why would they go out there if they knew her? So they must have came. Maybe they would have came back, and that's why they went out there, was to throw people off, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for us to kind of put our brains in that direction because we're not those type of people, right? So it's kind of like, well, I don't know. I'm a female. I like to jog, so I kind of keep my senses alert. Sorry, I'm standing outside so I don't wake up my kids, so I'm kind of cold. But yeah, so I don't know. That was kind of like what I was thinking. I definitely don't think some of the other ones that, like, somebody was breaking in, she walked in, or I don't think it's the family. And she kind of seems like she had her head on pretty straight, so she wasn't, like, involved in some of the other factors that maybe would take her, I don't know, into a bad situation. So I kind of just think that maybe it was somebody that was watching her. And unfortunately, maybe they grabbed her.
Yeah, it sounds like the one guy, the Devin Riley witness, who said he saw her 3 times. Like she ran by all the time, and he saw her at least 3 times. Maybe that week, or I can't remember the exact number, but see, that could be he could. Like let's say there was another guy like him, but had malintent, who saw this pattern.
Yep.
You see this pattern of the person running by, and then you go to, maybe you even one time sort of follow from far behind to see which way she keeps going, and then you find a secluded spot on that route, and then hide somewhere. Maybe put your car somewhere, make it look just totally casual, and then she runs by, and then boom, you grab her. I don't know how you keep her from yelling. I know she has missing earbuds too, so maybe when she was running, she had those in, and kept her from hearing somebody coming up from behind. I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. It's very sad. I hope some questions get answered soon. But I was thinking, the last couple of videos that I watched, this is my first one catching you live, so I've kind of gone back and listened to them. There goes Max flying by. Anyways,
yeah. So an actual Portlander listening to my videos, or watching them anyway. That's crazy. I said I didn't know any other Portland people actually watch my or listen to.
Oh, come on.
No, seriously, it's all around. It's just all around the country. I don't even know anybody in Portland that watches my video.
Well, I bet you if you did a video on Kyron Horman, you would get a lot more Oregonians following you.
Well, I was just going to say, I bet the other case that you want to talk about is Kyron Horman. I was going to say.
Yeah, and when I just found you within like the last month, and been kind of catching up, and Kyron Horman, poor kid. I mean, really, it's not a well-known case. Like, everyone always says, like sometimes these pretty girls that go missing, they get a lot of media. But I mean, Kyron was like 8 years old and goes missing supposedly out of a elementary school, and you don't really get to hear about it too much. So I would love to see you do a video on that and kind of your perspective on kind of what happened. I think we kind of all kind of can guess, maybe that the stepmom was involved, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually thought of taking a look at that one a few different times. It actually, that story is pretty big. I mean, so many people know about that case. It's just never became one of the, top tier ones. But there's a lot of podcasts, I think I've seen those.
No, there's no designated podcast for it, but there are some of I think it's Crime Garage or something. I think they interviewed somebody close to the family a couple of times and kind of got their
I just mean
but they're pretty big on Facebook.
Yeah. It's Well, I just mean individual podcasts, not a whole series. There's series one Sheila Wysocki's doing. She's got it's all about one case, or a lot of the other ones. But some podcasters, each episode is a whole different case. So.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and it's funny because I live probably, I don't know, 15 miles, 10 miles from there. It's just up I know exactly where that is. I used to go to that pub up there. What's that one? Skyline Tavern, I think it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little tavern. It's got pink, old school jukebox and pool tables and horseshoes outside. It's really pickled eggs in a jar at the counter. It's really kind of weird place, but
yeah,
I think that's right up there.
That's weird. I used to drive by the gym that, gosh, I can't even think of the name. I think it's right off of Barnes, maybe. Well, they used to have a whole spot full of Kyron pictures and letters for him and whatnot. I know they took it down once the gym was sold to a different owner. But
I mean, they do have that one picture of him at the sort of science fair, like he was really actually there, and then all of a sudden he just disappeared in the thin air.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, he was wearing a CSI shirt.
Pretty ironic.
Yeah, that one's good. Well, it's not good, but
I know what you're saying. It's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so then I just started listening to the case about Samantha Gomez, which I'm from Portland and I never had heard.
Sarah Gomez, right?
Oh, Sarah Gomez, okay.
Yeah.
Right, and I never heard about that. But I did hear her brother-in-law talk about a different case out of Bend, and I can't think of the girl's name, but I did hear. I do remember following that one a little bit. She was hit by a security guard in the college campus parking lot. Supposedly. Does that ring a bell?
Well, he mentioned another case, but I didn't.
Okay.
Hadn't followed that one. I tried to remember it when he said it, but then as it goes on the show, you just keep talking about other things and never really get back to that. I should have written it down, but I can go back and listen to it, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, my last case, I guess, which I haven't really seen you do a video on it, but I'm new to your channel. But it's a pretty big one. It's missing Maura Murray.
I think I did do something on that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, didn't I do one on Maura Murray out there? I remember going through on Google Earth doing the whole where the turn was, and
okay.
I think I did do that. I think it was just a live video, though. I don't think I did a standalone video on it. Let me see. Let me just look through my channel and see if I do have that. I'm just going to check to see. It's possible I deleted it, though, because I've deleted a lot of videos, too, after I do them. You know, like if something goes on wrong. That doesn't look like it. Wait. No. Huh. I'll have to go look through it, but I know I did a live and it discussed Maura Murray, but I do not see it right at this second, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, that one's crazy. That's another one of those ones where somebody just disappears in the thin air.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people, the bus driver that saw her, and then I guess apparently
local.
She was. Now I'm kind of shaky on some of the information, but I think she was in the car, and then somebody. Heck, I can't remember. It was pretty specific, but.
Yeah, the bus driver said that he saw her, and then she disappeared within 5 minutes of the car wreck, supposedly. I think, it happened in 2004. Gosh, what is it, 2018 now? So a lot has come out. I think true crime now is just amazing. I wish that I would have studied that in college, because it's just, you find it by people, I'm sure, on your channel coming to you and, giving you links and doing all this kind of research, and it's fascinating to us. I think that it's just like a whole different kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but
it's like I know what you're saying. It's hard to say what it is because people think, oh man, they have such a high and mighty attitude. Like if you said, God, it's just a really cool hobby. It's fun. They'll go, what do you mean it's fun? Right. There's dead people. Well, listen. It is fun, okay? It's fun and interesting. That's why people do it, okay?
Yeah.
And I've listened to, nobody out there hates looking into it, and they only do it for altruistic reasons. Everybody actually likes looking into the mystery of a case, and that it's no different than putting together a puzzle or investigating your genealogy, anything like that. It's the same damn thing. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. At first I kind of was embarrassed, like, oh my gosh, I'm like obsessed with this girl going missing, and
Yeah.
I have to find out what happened to her, and this and that. And I'm thinking, why am I embarrassed? I mean, this is real life. Like, it's just teaching me that I need to be aware of my surroundings. I need to teach my kids, you know,
Yeah.
to be aware of their surroundings. You don't go drinking by yourself and go walking home, or, you know, certain things like that. I feel like there's so many, like, factors that go into these people that go missing, and it's like their friends leave them at a bar and then they walk home, and, you know, the elements get to them, or you know, they have unfortunately a bad relationship with
Yeah.
somebody, and it's abusive, or, you know, whatever. And it's like, I feel like I can justify it a little bit more now that I hear about so many other people researching and following these cases. So it's
Yeah, I
good
think
to hear, and I'm thankful.
Yeah. Well, I think that you actually you're thinking about the same way a lot of people think about it, because they realize that there's a lot of the holier than thou types out there. So if you ever actually say out loud, yeah, I'm so fascinated and interesting, it's actually fun researching cases, they'll jump in and get angry at you. Not because they're also not interested. It just makes them feel good to sort of slam other people who are interested, you know, actually think it's enjoyable and sort of interesting to look up, you know, old cases or new cases. And there's like a whole segment on social media. So that's what I've learned, is that there's this whole segment of people that they're not even really there to do anything but that, is to complain about others who are interested in it. Yeah. So anyways, so don't feel bad.
I think that's how it is in everything in life, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, misery loves company. So if somebody's happy or enjoying something, then you're going to have somebody that's going to have negativity or something negative to say about it. I don't know. But I appreciate your channel. I'm glad that I found it. I think that I was just searching the Mollie Tibbetts case, and then I came across it, and I mostly listen to podcasts, so I'm kind of picky about who I watch on YouTube, but I definitely been catching up on a lot of your videos, so I appreciate your work. Thank you.
Well, thanks. You should go check out some of my. I mean, I mainly had made standalone videos, and sometimes I'll get on a case. So, like, you look at the Libby and Abby one, you can sort of see how I. You know what case that is, right? The Libby and Abby in Delphi.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because there are. Believe it or not, even people. I was just interviewing Becky the other day. I still haven't made that one yet, but she said Becky's the mother or the grandmother of Libby, but really the parent, you know, because she's the one taking care of her. But you know, she was just saying how. Heck, now I don't even remember what I was saying, because I got tripped up trying to figure out what I was gonna, what her relationship is.
I think you were probably going along the lines of not hearing about the case.
Oh, yeah. She was actually saying how there's people even around in that area that hadn't heard of it, which is crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy, yeah.
But it just shows you how, imagine if that case had got even half of the Mollie Tibbetts news out early on. You know, you might actually have caught the guy, you know, given the... Because still, I mean, everybody knows in the country almost what Mollie Tibbetts looks like. But I would say very few people have seen the image, comparatively, of the suspect on the bridge that said down the hill. And, and you got a picture of the guy. I mean, come on, get it out there. Somebody's got to recognize him.
Right.
And
and I keep my eyes open sometimes here in Portland. I'm thinking maybe he came to Portland, you know. You never know, so...
Well, I hope I don't walk by, because I have a goatee, and everybody. The problem is everybody looks. That's why I almost hesitate for anybody to look into people and do research and then start posting pictures of people, because it happened early on in the Delphi case, where hundreds and hundreds, anybody that had any kind of a beard or anything, their face was plastered all over Facebook. Yeah,
that's unfortunate, but
you know,
I think those are just people trying to be good citizens and watching out for others, maybe, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, I've sort of learned I'm sort of get really involved in it, so I think that you could look at it like, oh, they're just trying to help, but in reality, a lot of them are they're just into it to try to sort of make themselves look cool, like, hey, everybody, look what I found, and they cause a lot of problems for people. It doesn't come from a good place. I guarantee. I think some are, like you're saying, but I think that a lot of them, over half, don't do it for that reason. They just want to be the next one in their little group to get everybody excited about something. When, I mean, I'm just basing it on my experience. Maybe, have you ever been on those Facebook groups?
Definitely.
Where there's, on the Facebook groups, you ever been in those?
So yes, I have. I'm in the Missing Maura Murray one, and then Jennifer Kessie, who went missing out of Orlando, Florida, back in like 2003 or 2004. I'm in those two, and I bring those up just because those are the only two that I'm in. I don't want to sound naive or, but I already freaked myself out enough thinking that, something's going to happen, or my kid's going to get kidnapped or anything like that. So I try to stay out of those because I feel like when I do read those things, there's so many other topics that are brought up, and losing my train of thought. But I don't follow them, and I just want to try to keep an open mind, I guess.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will click on it if a podcast comes out, and if a podcast comes out and it's really good, and they say that they think they know who the person is, and like most recently in Missing Maura Murray, they think they know who it is, and I went and looked at some of the comments, and they were good comments. They kind of were just saying that the police are still investigating it and this and that, but if I go and look at like other comments saying, well, it's the boyfriend, or the father looks shady, or
that kind of
something like that, I just kind of click out of it, because I'm like, really, come on, like, this poor family, put yourself in their shoes. They have a missing family member who's been missing over a decade. They just want closure. Like, don't bring them into it any more than they've already had for all these years. So,
God, for a minute there, I thought you were talking about the Mollie Tibbetts case. Because the same stuff's already going on in that one. Oh, look at that guy. Look at Dalton. He looks shady. Really? I don't see it at all. I don't see him looking shady. He's, of course, they haven't found anybody.
I think he's holding it together. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he is. You can tell
I think he's holding it together. Yeah. I think he's trying to be brave. I think that he is trying to represent the family and trying to perhaps be brave for Mollie. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I definitely don't think that he's suspicious or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't either. And the thing is a lot of times people think that I'm not open-minded and I'm just, gosh, Gray, you're like a robot. You're just facts only. The thing is I think of all those things that other people think about, like all of the different little, God, could it be the brothers? Could it be the boyfriend? Could it? But I'm able to go. I try to keep going what's most likely given the information we have, and then I try not to wander too far off, because if you do that, then you go down those rabbit holes, right? Like what you just said a second ago about, oh, what if. Those people that say, oh, God, the father, he looks so shady. Oh, boy. I mean, where does that one end? Now we got to start pulling up the dad's records and looking at all of his friends on Facebook, and, finding one of his friends has a, that's how it goes. It goes on and on and on. And so. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of a waste of time. Like, that's why I think that your channel is doing so well. I mean, I could only imagine that it's going to even do better because you do stick to the facts, and I like that. I don't like the whole sugarcoating. Well, okay, maybe he was, maybe he, no, like just get to the facts. Like, just like you said, well, they probably didn't throw her watch and her phone out the window by the hog farm because they knew the guy's background. Yeah, that's probably really far-fetched. But you don't go, no, you're wrong, get off my channel. You know, you're just like, okay, come on back in and get the facts. So
yeah, but some people leave because they get angry when I say that. I mean, there are times, I know that I don't know how long you've been watching, but there's sometimes I'll see a comment and I'll just, bam, I'll blast out, you know, especially when I get the EVP and the gift, the people with gifts. You know, that's where we're starting to lose the. Do you know what EVP is? Where they listen to radio signals?
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so they have like these apps called. Well, I don't even know if you. I'm going to tell you what it is. There's an app, and it's like EVP. I don't even know what it stands for, but apparently they tune into these channels and ask questions, and a spirit of some sort responds back through the airwaves, okay? And see, that's what they claim, all right? But it's like an app, right? Like, hello, it's an app, right? There's something going on. Well, Gray, the app's really just a conduit to the. Well, anyways, when those people pop up, that's where I'm not very open-minded. I have to be honest, okay?
Yeah. Well, it's your channel, so you can do what you want to do.
Right. So, if you hear me...
You tell them to make their own channel, and then, they can handle all the, feedback and hate comments and this and that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, Well, guys, it's great to have somebody actually in the Portland area listening to... I guess there was somebody else that said that up above when you said that. So,
oh, okay. Yeah, I stepped outside so I wouldn't wake up my kids, so I wasn't following along, and I didn't want to get yelled at for my background noise. I'm just joking.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, right when it came on, I heard there was a little bit, then you quickly turned it off. Maybe not.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to say one more thing, and luckily nobody can see me, so they can't, know if I'm psycho or not. But I've heard in some cases that the killer or whoever, whatever the case may be, they follow some of these channels and they follow the Facebook groups and they're part of them. So I just want people to, always kind of remember that too. And then also remember that family members of these missing person cases, sometimes the family members are also watching and listening. And so just try to maybe put yourself in their shoes and just be aware. And then also, like you always say, be aware of your surroundings. I think this is just a great reminder, hopefully, to everybody out there that there is a girl that's missing. And unfortunately, we don't know what happened yet. But for you who is listening to this right now, you can hopefully not let that happen to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Well,
I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you coming on, Emily. Have a good one.
And hopefully the Trailblazers have a good year, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm thinking, I think Nurkic needs to work in a few pump fakes. He always gets the ball, and then he just sort of shoots it, and someone blocks it. But he's such a good player. If he just had a couple pump fakes and he's great little moves he's got. He just needs to kind of trick the other guys a little bit more, I think. And Lillard needs to pass better. All he does is he's a terrible passer. If he just could learn to pass, I'd be like, oh, thank you, God. We'd be good. All right. Yeah.
Well, I think they need to keep strong all year long. I think they start off really strong in the beginning, and then December happens, and then January happens, and then they make it into the playoffs, and then that first round they're just like, come on, Blazers, you can do it.
And I'm pumped about all the
against the Lakers.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think they play them 3 times in the first 30 games, but I watched all the the summer league games, and man, those guys, all the guys they picked up can all shoot really good and well, I guess.
Well, good.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, it actually made me excited. I was thinking, oh my God, we actually are going to have some good shooters coming off the bench.
That's awesome. And then hopefully we have a baseball team coming to town, right?
I've heard about that. Who knows? They've been trying to do that for years. But it sounds like this time is a little bit more serious.
Yeah, I think so. Well, thank you again. You have a great night.
Okay, you too. Thanks. Call in again sometime.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Bye. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the Blazers tangent. I'm sure that didn't mean anything for the rest of you. All right, so does anybody else want to call in to discuss anything about this case or any other thing? What are you posting, Daro? Oh, God, there goes my stomach again. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's a year ago. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that everybody keeps posting pictures and articles about some other guy. Oh my God, look at that. On Iowa State campus, there's some guy that was stalking women, and all of a sudden that's going to be this guy. Yeah, I did look. It's a year ago. It's not really... Let's see. Yeah, just call up and talk about what you want to talk about. I just looked at that article though, and it's just people read it and go, "Oh wow, wow!" But I mean, this stuff happens all over the place, and it's a year ago. See, 3 women report being assaulted on rural Iowa roads, but August 25th, 2017. 3 women say they were assaulted along rural roads this month, a year ago. One of the alleged assaults happened just before 5 this morning in Lynn County. The victim told authorities she was flagged down while driving by a man asking for help, but when she got out of the vehicle, the man pushed her against her car, sexually assaulted her. This incident happened near the intersection of Mount Vernon Road, blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, so there's 3 more. I just think it's not really useful to put that into the equation. This stuff happens all the time. The pig farm was shut down, somebody just said. All right, so if it's 3 p.m., then it's 1 p.m. my time, right, Daro? It's 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours ahead in... Here, I'll just type it. What time is it in Iowa? 12:44 a.m. Yep, 2 hours. So maybe we should go on live at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And if you guys want, you can come on and watch it, and I'll interject with my sarcasm and absolutely hilarious wit during it. Talk about the bottled water that they're so pleased to have. Yep, I'm a West Coaster, Cynthia. Yes, LJ, I am going to talk the entire time the press conference is going on. Oh, and here we go, another call coming in. Line 1, you're on the air.
Hi there, Gray. It's nice to meet you. I enjoy your show. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who is this?
Jennifer, just me.
Oh, Jennifer? Oh, okay. Or you're not talking in the chat though, right?
I have been off and on. I've been following what you've been doing for this case especially, and a little bit of some of your others.
Oh, cool. All right. So do you have a theory?
Okay.
Or, it's nice to have you on.
Well,
a new caller.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Okay, so I saw an update, and I don't know if this is what you have already discussed. I just logged on. Have you discussed the video showing you know, school starting and just whoever it is, just get her home, and all we want is her to be safe and sound. I'm not sure where I saw that clip at. I know I saw it. I'll look at my YouTube history.
But what was the, yeah, maybe you can find it and put it in a link in the, well, I don't know. Has anybody else seen that video? I don't think you can put a link in there.
It was like today or yesterday.
And it's like her friends or what?
I'm looking for it right now. Oh, okay. New theory.
How about this?
Search for missing college students.
Okay, is that a YouTube video?
Yeah, can I share it to you somehow?
No, just tell me the title and I'll type it in. What's the title of it?
Okay. It just says new theory and search for missing college. Let's see here. Yeah. New theory and search for the missing college student, Mollie Tibbetts, August 10th, 2018.
Does it have like a girl with the red hair on there talking?
Yeah.
Didn't you post this earlier up there, anybody? Is there a news article that has this video clip in it?
Investigators in...
Yeah, it seems like this was in that... I think this was in that first link that Darrow... Can you put that link back in there, Darrow, that had this one? Or was it the same video as this, or was it an actual news site?
Well, I saw it was actually yesterday, so it seemed like new news to me, but now it's after midnight, so it seems longer.
So is there some person that says something, or does she say something?
What?
Is there some guy that says something, or is it just her, this redheaded lady?
It was her saying that she really believes that it's somebody she knew, a female or a male, that she trusted.
Right.
And if she went away and didn't realize, you know, there'd be this much consequence, to please just come home safe. And if somebody did lure her away, because this person really is analyzing all the behaviors,
right,
to please release her and let her be free, don't hurt her. And they are looking at friends, family, everybody, and outsiders in her circle. And they had some video clips that I hadn't seen before either, from like the day before when she was being fun, and the day before she was
I've seen that.
Sadly missing. Yeah. It seemed like it was new stuff I'd never seen.
Yeah, I think that was in one of my live videos. Like she's sitting on the ground, and you can actually see her Fitbit on her left wrist. On that one with the pink band.
And yeah, I had to watch. I should have watched the video again, but it. I guess I could go through it really fast. It seemed to me, from my perspective, that they are beginning to think that she really did just maybe leave just to have fun, or didn't know the consequences, or she didn't understand the consequences of everybody missing her. And I'm trying to see if I'm trying to get forward here. I apologize. I thought that it showed. Okay. I apologize, but
that's all right. I'm typing into somebody. Typing in the Vic.
Yeah, she's like, no actions of a struggle. She was at home. Likely, she went with somebody she knew, or someone who did not pose a threat to her.
But see, the thing about the struggles, they don't have a clue about a struggle or not. See, the only way a struggle would matter is if she did make it home from jogging. But everybody keeps saying, oh yeah, she disappeared while jogging. But if she did make it home from jogging, and there's no sign of a break-in or any struggle, then
if she was home and doing whatever, and she knew this person, she would have put the dogs downstairs and said, okay, I'll go with you because I need a ride or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. you know.
And so when people go missing, if somebody she knew, it doesn't always go to the closest, really someone she casually knew or casually recognized.
Yeah, it could just be somebody that she's, you know.
My 2 cents then, I just wanted to add, was that I really pray to God. I've just really been praying that she just comes home safe and sound. I'm sure, I mean, all of us, that's what we want. I went through a really horrible situation. I was stalked for 10 years without knowing it, from 1988 to 1997. And when the undercover police and the private investigator I hired, because I had 2 small children, it took some successful phone traps, and I was really surprised.
How did you know that you were
when we found?
Hold on, let me. I need to be able to interject sometime. So when were you able? How did you know after? If you didn't know you were being stalked for 10 years, how did you finally realize? Oh wow, I'm being stalked.
It was 1997. He knew what day I had off, and he called my daughter. She picked up the phone, and we were actually going to like a water park, and he knew I wasn't working, and my son, there's 7 years difference. And so I answered the phone then, because she answered it first, and that's when phones are on the wall. I mean, this dates back to 1997. And I just said, hello. And he said, he said my name, my first and last name. And I said, yes. And then I won't say what he said because it was very obscene, and demanded that I would answer his question that was really obscene. So I hung up, and I had called the police about something else that was just unusual. And when the police officer came, I said, I just got this really strange prank call. Yet he had said my first and last name. And he said I'd take that very serious. So I said, okay. So things were leading up and up and up and up. He'd seen me when I was just like 16 driving by a factory.
But how do you know that part? Like all the other 10 years?
He got convicted. We finally got him. And my point is, the person that I believe is guilty, I was totally off. Like the person you think that's guilty, that seems guilty, you really don't know. And when I found out who this person was, who got a job where I was working and where I grocery shopped and very close to where I lived, he was building courage. That's what stalkers do. And it was 1988 to 1997. So he was just starting to build courage and try to abduct me. And so my call about this is that you never, and when they showed me the picture and when I went to court and he paid back all the restitution, and then I found out when I moved away that he had hung himself and he died. But my point being, you never know who is watching you or liking you or anything like that. And then these things that you're, watching, but especially nowadays with the cell phones, and we're not paying attention to anything. We're just looking at, phones and stuff. It's crazy. And around here where I'm living, we've had a light green van trying to, it's an older man, and he's saying, help me, my van's broke down. And as soon as the girl got out, then 3 more guys jumped out, and she jumped back in her car, and thank God she got away. And he just several other people, because everybody thought, oh, he's an older man that needs help. So, and then there's women that lure girls or little boys or all ages. It doesn't even have to be. It's any age for trafficking. So I really want everybody to be really aware and be very careful. Know your self-defense, and you just don't know. You just don't know.
So I wanted to ask more about your situation, because That's actually sort of sounds interesting. So he was kind of like tracking you, follow 10 years. Had you talked to him before?
I had never met him ever in my life, and I never remembered ever even seeing him or talking to him.
But when they arrested him, they went into the house and they found a whole bunch of photos. Like they could tell that he'd been like taking pictures of.
Oh yes, everything. He was manager of the place that cleaned the bank mats that I worked at. I went all the way up to a vice president. So that's how he had my phone number, my business card. He knew my schedule because I never paid attention. I was just always friendly and nice, polite, professional. And I had no idea. I was watching the crew of people, because it was a really big bank, on who came and cleaned the mats and put new ones in. It was a service that they do. I think it's like I don't know. They're all different services, but I
want to ask him more. So did he? I don't know if you want to. But it sounds like
I can answer anything.
This sounds like it's something that could be on like IDTV or something. It
is insane. He started when he asked me first. So I can't. I don't want to hurt anybody who's listening to this and what I was asked to say or answer. He got very demanding. He was building courage, and I got called. And then he'd always knew when I wasn't home. Or when I was home, and people started seeing him in bushes in different places, like hiding. And my son at the time was 7. My children are 7 years apart in age, and he and his best friend were walking through the dining room into the living room, and he's like, "Mom, who's that guy looking in the window?" And I looked over. I didn't realize that he had been staring at me because I had big lace curtains, and I said, "Don't go the door! Don't go the door!"
Wow.
So
this is all
and I was
after
at work, and
okay, go ahead.
I got a call from him, and he said, "Meet me at this China buffet," which was really close to an interstate. And they got the undercover police and had me walk after they had everything set up. He'd leave on my lunch hour. I would just go there, and they believe that's when he was going to try and abduct me. Wow. And it didn't work out, and he caught on to something, I don't know what. And he was really trying to get in my home. He was really getting too close to my work, and when I went grocery shopping, at that time, this dates my age, you rented video games and movies and stuff, and so my son would be 7, and I came from a town of about 26,000, so my daughter would be in a car seat, and I would just pull up to where I grocery shop and say, "Okay, go put that game back or get another game." But he had told everybody when he finally was caught, they found so much stuff that he kept just because I had touched it, and stuff that I had touched while I was working at the bank, and stuff that he even wanted to buy my Mustang when I sold it, because I sold it, to be have a more reliable car, of course, for being a mom. And he really wanted to buy that car, and so he started out getting me clues like, "You know who I am," and he gave me his
What's his name? What's his
name?
And
then he told me,
I'm gonna look him up.
Wait.
I want to see what he looks like. It's a freak. I can't. Is that something I can't do? If I can't do that, then I won't do it.
I got a private. I got a restraining order against him, and alerted the neighborhood.
But it seems like it would have been a pretty big case. Did it make the news or anything?
Oh, well,
I mean, that's a crazy.
I came from a small town, and the private investigator, the person that was representing him, his defense, met me outside the court and said, it was only phone calls. He didn't do anything to you.
He was, that's so stupid.
And I said, he's been profiled. They've done some very psychological testing on him. They know his history of abuse to his own children with incest and his charges against him.
and that attorney should have never spoke to me, but he was trying to get me to drop the case.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I never had to testify, ever. He paid back restitution. He was totally guilty.
Yeah, they
And,
probably didn't need to have you testify with
my
all.
calling
With
in,
all hold on a second.
yeah, my calling in is just to say,
okay.
you never know.
Yeah, but I was just going to say they probably didn't need you to testify because they had so much stuff they found in his house that it was just obvious.
Yeah, and where he worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and where he worked. And he admitted it. He didn't even fight it. So I'm just really grateful. But now there's a lot going on everywhere, every day. So people have got to be aware and go into girls, guys, women, men, all ages. You just got to be really careful.
Lots of monsters out there.
I'm praying that she comes back. My only thing I kind of thought, and I don't want to really throw this out, but I'll give you a speculation. And I'm not saying this happened or anything, because I think she's the sweetest thing. I mean, she's just a doll. And I just want her to return safely. But I thought she's going to be in a wedding, right, the next day.
Mm-hmm. Well, not the next day, but weeks, like the beginning of, it was going to be beginning of August, so it was like 2 weeks after she went missing. That's when the wedding was.
So when she went missing,
like
how
on
many
the
more
18th.
days was it before the wedding?
Oh, like 13, 14 days, 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, we all try really hard to be the best person we can be, but none of us are perfect. And it looks like she had a lot of pressure on her to be, you know, the good girl that everybody looked up to. And just maybe, somehow by accident, she was with somebody that nobody knows and found out she was pregnant and couldn't confront or tell her parents because they're divorced, right? The parents are divorced? Her parents?
Yeah, the previous one.
Okay. And maybe she knew she wasn't going to be able to fit in the dress. And that's a big deal to girls. I know it sounds silly to say that, but maybe she was getting freaked out about that and thought, I'll just go away, or I'll go away and take care of this and come back, and something bad happened. And then I know that's a crazy scenario, but I thought, why would she just disappear? And I've been praying a lot for her, to pray to God that she fights and gets away if she's been abducted or trafficked, or if she went away with somebody and didn't know that it would make such big news, that please come home, people will love you and embrace you and just be grateful that you're back. Because,
yeah,
you know, being that kind of person where you're on the always, everybody thinks, you know, a small town, you can have people that you like and you just don't want anybody to know, or you trust people that you shouldn't. And I've had people that I've trusted. I've had employers. I've had, I won't go into any more detail, but it's really easy to have something put in your drink and you can't taste it and you're out. So
Right.
if somebody picked her up and then gave her water or anything to drink or eat, it's very possible. Or if she got hit in the back of the head and got knocked out, there'd be no struggle. But I think they would do that in the vehicle, not anywhere else. Whoever did this is really intelligent. So either she went on her own, or the person really thought this out, like my stalker. It took 10 years to, you know, build up courage to try to take me or do whatever he was going to do. These are just a few things that I thought, and I don't know if this is any good, but I really just...
Hey, I know that they found the purse and the wallet, I guess, at home, but I wonder if anything was missing from it. You know, maybe she actually took something. You know, I mean, but obviously they could track it.
If she went on purpose to
right.
throw people off, she would leave things as they were, as if
Right,
you know,
but where would she have money to actually?
The person that likes her, or the person that.
Well, I said that on the early on in the first video that I made. I said, well, maybe she left with some billionaire that said, "Hey, I'll make you have a better life," and just took her away.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, so.
The
odds of that are so low. The odds of that are so low. Like, oh wow, she met some guy.
No, actually, it's the scam artists, the Ponzi and the scams are on an all-time high, even with employment
those are,
fraud.
but not the scenario where she literally was taken and somehow some really rich guy, you know, said, I'll do everything. You don't have to worry about ID or anything ever again. You know, so. That's what I'm saying.
There's very strange things that can happen, and if you're really young and innocent, and from a small town, we find, you know, I'm a lot like her, not in the way that I'm saying I'm great, but I'm saying my small town, like 26,000. Even to this day, I have a hard time not pulling over and helping someone, but I've learned now just to call the police and tell them whatever mile marker or wherever it is, please go help them, because unfortunately we live in a society that we can't help people and feel safe. So when you're from smaller towns, you just have the heart that you believe everybody is good and nobody do anything bad, and you just never know. Or you have a secret life that you don't want anybody to know. But technology should pick up on that, and they should be able to figure that out, and maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't think we can say that the person who took her is really smart, or that, you know, the pregnancy angle thing, it's such wild, you know, speculation. But the part about saying that they're really smart, I mean, if it was just some doofus who saw her there and just kidnapped her and then took her somewhere and they just don't know who the hell it is because it's random. See, that makes it so you don't have to be smart. You know, if it's just some.
But they know how to get rid of the phone and the Fitbit.
Yeah. Well, that's because everybody knows about that now, right? Like if let's just say you were a psycho and you kidnapped somebody. Well, the first thing you do is
I think it's the younger generation, because I don't think the older generation, not everybody's up on that. Some are, but not everyone.
Well, yeah, if you're like 70, probably, yeah. But everybody watches crime, or, you know, everybody knows that cell phones ping. I mean, if you don't know that, then then you really are dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So here's the thing.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. If you're really dumb, you don't know about cell phone pinging. And if you're just normal, you do know about that. So it doesn't make you somebody extraordinary that when they kidnap Mollie, they're driving and they say, oh, wow, listen, and take her cell phone and her Fitbit and turn them off, you know, break the phone, do whatever it takes. And then they drive off and they, you know, first they tried to hustle out of town. I don't know. It almost seems like there maybe was two people, because to get somebody in a car, you know, like you got to be one has to kind of keep the person controlled, and the other one's going out of town, unless you did something like, you know, knocked her out, or, you know, like you said, gave a drug or chloroform or some crap like that to put her under right away, and then you take off and then realize you're kind of driving and you look over and go, oh wow, she's got a phone. She's got a Fitbit. I got to get rid of those. And that was the last place that they pinged.
It's surprising how many people you think you can love and trust. It could be a lawyer, a doctor, someone from a funeral home, or your own, you know, whatever church you go to. You'd be surprised that some of the higher ups in society that have the ability to do things that you would never in a million years think they would do to you.
I think I used to be surprised at something like that, but now it's like I think when I was younger, or like maybe even just 10 years ago, that would surprise me. But the stuff I've learned since then, it's you know, especially in politics, some of these people high up, they do crazy, and Hollywood even, you know, look at all the stuff going on over there. You know, the Harvey Weinstein.
I'm very, very aware.
Jesus. They're nut jobs. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I didn't want to call in because I didn't want to sound like an idiot. I'm really tired. But I saw you went live, and I thought, oh, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the comments.
Well, I think you sound like anything but an idiot. How about that?
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to talk with you. I'm just throwing out theories that could bring her home, and theories that maybe what happened, and theories of what happened to me. In fact, I was drugged by, like I said, somebody who I worked for when I was in my teenage years. And I trusted this person, and before I knew it, I was just out of it. And I couldn't believe, at that time, at my age, I didn't even know there was such a thing that could be, I didn't have any idea. So when I found out about it, I was like, that's what happened, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then it was also with somebody else who I completely, totally trusted. And I got out alive, and I'm very, very lucky with technology, my family, and I recommend everybody, I'm not going to say what app, because I'm not saying what app's great, but it's really important that you have an app that you can see where people are at. I know when the phone dies, it dies, but still, somebody you can trust that they can see where you are on an app. And I don't know if she had that app or not. I just pray that she did, like Finding Friends or Life 360, anything like that. Right. Because you just never know if something's just, with my kids, I'm so close with them. We say, good morning, good night, very, very close, and we don't usually miss a beat, and we can kind of check up on each other, especially now that a lot's happening on Interstate 80. And it's really, really bad what's going on here. So it's imperative that everybody's really aware. And I can't emphasize enough that you 1 second are drinking water or giving some food or whatever, and all of a sudden you're just not yourself. And then they just keep giving it to you. And where I'm from now, I would never expect this to happen. And they have it's called, I Have a Name. And it's for girls and boys. If they get caught up in this by accident, they get abducted. Because some people have gone and walked up to people, like in Walmart parking lots, or any parking lot, I should say. Anywhere, like Walgreens, wherever you go. And they'll say, oh, this is horrible, but they'll say, we're having church this night, and we just really want to, we'd love to encourage you to come, blah, blah, blah. And there's a guy, if they don't do it, the people that are trying to lure the girl to the fake church or fake event, they'll get beat up if they don't do it. So there's some really sick people out there, and if you don't know anybody, don't ever go alone, ever, 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 and make sure people know what you're doing. And if you have some type of secret life, I just recommend that you don't, because it's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hopefully people were listening and will take your advice. But you should do a whole episode one time on your story. That sounds like I don't know if you'd be interested in doing that, but it's
no,
just.
I could, yeah.
I mean, you would just put it. We have to do. You have to do it where it's really like concise, where you like an interview type thing, where you literally have all the facts, go through the whole thing, and it's like, wow, that just sounds like a nightmare right out of. I'm not sure what episode what show. There's a show that deals with that on IDTV all the time. Like it's something I can't remember.
Yeah,
what
if I
it's
could
called.
say on the air what he was demanding every time he called, you'd be surprised. And then he kept just giving me clues, and then it just got creepier and creepier. And I was so glad when he was caught, but
was he older?
When I got away, I was even happier.
How old was the guy?
You know, I don't know. I don't. I'm guessing 50s, late 40s, because I was at that time probably. I think I was around 24, 25. So yeah, a lot of people didn't know as much as I do now about those kind of things, and I can't believe it either that I went through that. And so I really just pray that Mollie comes home safe and sound, and she's released, and that the whole town and everybody in the world will just say a prayer for love and peace for her to come home safely with no judgment. If I'm praying to God it's an innocent situation.
But damn it, I want answers. If she comes back and it's innocent, we deserve answers as the public for having to deal with it for
right.
But it seems like a lot of times they just clam up at that point. You know, they're like, oh, well, let them deal with their own.
And when you go, and she could be going through. This sounds really out there, but if you get your personality shattered and mind controlled, or you just break into a different, fragment of who you are.
Right.
The memory is you can lose memory when it's really traumatic. So she could come back and not remember anything, and then maybe later on know more, and people would probably judge her and say, oh, she's just not talking. But unless you've gone through something really traumatic, you don't know how you'd react. And the parents and the boyfriend, they're in shock, complete shock, and probably on medication. But, I can't imagine the situation at all. I'm saying the reason why I brought up my soccer is the fact that I had somebody totally pegged as guilty who wasn't, and finding out who it was, and that I had interactions that I don't remember because I was busy doing my thing, that I never ever saw or recognized that it happens in this world. They just build a fantasy up, and they just have a dream world. I don't know anything about that exactly, but it's very scary. So you just don't know. You just don't know.
Well, there it is, everybody. Be careful. You never know.
Yes.
There's some
Thank you for your time. I'm glad you called. It was really nice to talk with you.
Oh, you too,
Trey.
Jennifer.
And your shows are all very, very good. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you calling in. I'm sorry you had to go through that in your life.
Oh, no problem at all. I just want to bring awareness. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Wow, that's such a wild story. That sounds like something that should have been on IDTV. A Stranger Calls, something like that. I think that's actually an actual series name, When a Stranger Calls. Yeah, so I guess the press conference is tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Apparently they're supposed to, or excuse me, not 9. That's what, watch, all of a sudden, 3, no, it's 3, no, it's 3, no, it's 3, no, it's 3. Yeah, I know. It's at 3 p.m. Iowa time, 1 p.m. West Coast time, tomorrow. Wow, it's amazed that people didn't jump in with the correction. Awesome. Oh, God. There we go. Why so serious? Yeah, I don't care about the East Coast, all right, Jim? I'm just kidding. What do you mean you don't care? That's so mean, Gray. Yeah. So go ahead and put the, I guess tomorrow it'll be easy to get that set up. No, I'm not live in Lumberton. I live in Oregon. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's weird? I watch all their YouTubers, and my God, they're not talking about a damn thing, and they get super chats. What's wrong with me? Am I chopped liver for you guys? My God. Jesus. I know. I seem like somebody, you know, might help pay for a round of golf here and there. Let's see, what do we got here? Anybody send me an email on this? I don't see it. Nope, nothing new. Nothing coming through the airways for the Mollie Tibbetts case or any other cases at this point. Oh, it's okay, Audra. I don't know if I have a radio voice or not. That's what some of you say, but... So who's calling in this time? Come on, somebody. And nobody that's called in before, okay? I want new people to get the guts to pick up the phone and dial 1-503-446-5146. That's 503-446-5146. East of the Rockies, it's 503-446-5146. West of the Rockies, it's 503-446-5146. In Indonesia, it's 503-446-5146. And in Australia, it's 503-446-5146. Hey, Patricia. Thank you. Wow. I mean, look at that. Patricia is always donating and helping me out. All right? She's very kind. Now, where in the hell are the rest of you? Hey, did you notice that the number was the same on each of those locations? Yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hey, wow, thanks, Daro and Mood Ring. I appreciate it. Is there anybody on the line here? Somebody dialed, but they didn't answer. Ah, look, you can see someone dancing around. There's Daro doing a little jig. I appreciate it. Somebody called, but they didn't say anything when I said hello. Wow, there's the other one. There's Mood Ring showed up. It's the same dancer for everybody. I'm sorry that I couldn't individualize the dancer, but I'll work on that. All right, so somebody tried dialing in. If you want to try again, go ahead. Wild card line. Remember Art Bell? That's what he used to have. Wild card line, east of the Rockies, west of the Rockies. Yeah, geez, maybe Daro's going to be broke here. I mean, every night Daro and Patricia are sending me donations. I don't think so, LJ. I think I'm the opposite of Alex Jones. I might have a similar sort of... Well, I'm not like him at all, because he's not even sarcastic or anything. He's just... He's not funny, Alex Jones, right? I've never laughed watching Alex Jones. Alright, here we go. Wild card line, you're on the air. Hello?
What's up?
Not much. Who's this?
This is Barry West.
Barry West? Like berry, like a blueberry.
G-A-R-Y.
Yeah, you're breaking up really badly, so I can hardly. Are you in a bad cell spot?
I don't think so, but
Okay. Well, maybe you can. Do you have a theory, or what do you want to talk about?
well,
Yeah, your audio is really bad. I can barely make out any word. Can you guys hear them at all in the chat there?
I was just saying that I'm just down the road from this Brooklyn, Iowa.
Oh yeah, okay. And
so just kept listening in the different theories and everything that's gone on. So, and I've been listening to you here in the last 3 weeks. The way you piece it together, it's pretty cool.
Oh, thanks. Are you? Do you live in like Grinnell or just some random area out there?
I have a sister that lives in Newton, and Newton is like what, about 30 miles from Brooklyn, and then I live in Des Moines.
Oh, Des Moines. Okay. Yeah, Newton's. Yeah, it looks like about 30 miles. Yeah, it's like Grinnell's in between. Like where Mollie worked is in between Newton and Brooklyn.
And I guess my questions or everybody's been questioned, investigated, looked at, scoped out, but they've never really talked about anybody that she's worked with at Grinnell.
Well,
why wouldn't they look at somebody there? They really have never focused.
In Brooklyn or Grinnell? What do you mean?
In Grinnell. That's what I said. They've never really focused on like any of the co-workers or.
Oh, we don't know.
Or
that.
anybody.
Yeah.
Really.
That's what we don't have a clue what law enforcement's doing. I think that they've talked. I bet you they've talked to every single person she worked with over there. I would bet. I mean, we're just not going to get to know it. You know, they're not going to. I mean, I've never seen a more tight. Well, I don't know if I can't prove that they've talked to all of her coworkers. That just seems like something really obvious to do. But you haven't really seen any of them. I haven't seen anybody on social media that worked with her saying, "Oh yeah, they came and talked to us." You know, you think somebody would share something like that. But
exactly, that's what I'm saying. There hasn't been any scuttlebutt of that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
you thought you would have got the feedback of them going through and combing through and asking or talking to people like 2, maybe 3 times or something. But I don't know. But like I said too, is I don't know. It's a very interesting, puzzling case. But like I said, I think when it all comes out in the wash in the end, it's probably going to be like probably a lot of the speculation is that it's probably, you know, somebody that she knew that knew another person, and it just led to something.
Yeah.
That. But it is a really puzzling case. But like I said, it's people just don't disappear. But
yeah. Now, what was can you say what your name was again? Because now I can hear you. I couldn't hear it before.
Gary.
Oh, what? Gary. Oh, so your name is the name that I get called all the time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, look at everybody types in, "Hey Gary, what do you think about the?" Yeah, that's why people. Yeah, see, this and oh, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at this one, right? My diploma from college said Gary on it. Okay, like when I literally walked across the stage, they handed it to me after all 6 years that it took me. I ended up with 220 something credits, but I was walking across. I looked down. It says Gary Hughes. So then I did a U-turn, walked right back, and said, "Hey, fix this damn thing." And then they tried to call me up for years to get donations and kept calling me Gary every time they call. "Yeah, Gary, since you're an alumni," and I go, "Listen, if you ever say my name right, I might listen. Goodbye." You know. Yeah.
All that money you spent, you can't get your name right.
Right, yeah. Well, that's what I used to say. I go, Thank you. After all those years, you're finally helping me spell my name right. But yet you graduated me, and I couldn't even spell my own name. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe we should meet sometime.
Oh yeah, do you live over there in? I live all the way on the West Coast.
You're out there in Portland, isn't it?
Yeah. Be like do the Gary and Gray.
Yeah, when that confuses a lot of people.
That would be pretty funny.
Well, it says like, well, a lot of people know me. My nickname is G. They call me G. So.
I get called that sometimes too. But they called me in my first college. They nicknamed me Beige. You know, because like gray is kind of a bland.
Beige.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
they would call me Beige because that's also sort of a similar bland type color. So they'd say, "Hey, Beige, what are you doing?" I thought it was kind of funny, actually. It sort of worked for a while for me. At least nobody would confuse it, right? There's not another one that, oh, it sounds like beige, right?
Yeah. Right. Wouldn't get it construed of what you thought you heard.
Right, yeah.
University did you go to?
I went to a couple of them, University of Oregon and Oregon State.
Okay. I went to Northern Iowa, so.
Isn't that where... Oh, that's not where she was going. What part of Iowa is that in? I mean, I know it's Northern Iowa, but like what...
That's up north, Cedar Falls, Waterloo. It's in Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Oh, okay. Cedar Falls. I'm just kind of looking at the map. Yeah, it's pretty... Iowa's just basically dead center of the United States, right? Well, a little bit right of center, but I think the left border of Iowa is kind of right in the middle of the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from a really small town. It's even smaller than Brooklyn is, but so yeah, like I said, my high school closed 2 or 3 years ago, so that's how small it is. They ran out of students.
Yeah. Yeah, if you only have 60 people in the town and nobody's having babies, boy, those schools tend to shut down real quick.
Yeah, it was a small town with nothing to do, and I knew when I graduated it was time to leave. I knew I had to go somewhere where something was happening.
Do you still live in Iowa, or?
Yeah, I work here in Des Moines.
Oh, that's right, you said that. Yeah, well, at least you got out of the small town.
Did. After I did graduated from UNI, then I wasn't ready to beat the same path to work every day, so I joined the Navy, and I give them 8 years.
Oh, good for you. Thank you for your service.
Times. It was fun times.
Where'd you get to go? You go all around the world when you were doing that?
Yeah, some of the places that I went, I got to go past the Arctic Circle. I got to go to Norway, St. Thomas and the Virgin Islands, Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, cool.
Got to go through the Suez Canal. I was in the Desert Storm, Desert Shield War. So.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, I went to all these different places, which were neat, but I still think the best port visit that I went to was Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I've been to Arctic Circle. They have those really good hamburgers with that little sort of mayonnaise sauce they put on there.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. See, where I'm from, there used to be a restaurant. You guys maybe don't have them, but there was like a little restaurant called Arctic Circle. It was like
I was going to say when I went past the Arctic Circle, there was no restaurants out there.
Yeah.
All I got was my blue nose.
You probably would have liked to have seen something like that while going by there. Or maybe not. Maybe you'd be like, that's bogus. Look at that. A restaurant?
No, I mean, I did, the Northern Lights were really amazing out there, though, but...
Yeah.
Besides that, just the oil platforms and a lot of water.
Yeah. So what was your favorite place that you actually went to?
My favorite place I actually visited
when you were doing
was Fort Lauderdale is my favorite.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, it was just, I mean, those other places were interesting, great to see. You know, Norway, going through the fjords.
Yeah, fjords. Yeah.
And that, I mean, that was great. St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, obviously, that was good to see. And like I said, going through the Suez Canal and this kind of deal was great. But yeah, you can't beat Fort Lauderdale. I kind of like that.
You know, my brother, he was really into Lord of the Rings. And so when in high school, he decided to go to Norway. But before he went, he started to learn Norwegian, and then he stayed there for a year. And by the time he came back, he had a hard time speaking English again, because he literally immersed himself, and he could speak Norwegian fluently with even a dialect from a specific town area. Like he was in a place called Baseford, a fjord. You know, it's like and it's just like he had to cross-country ski everywhere he went, and they would go fishing, you know, and catch like these. I guess he said he had this fish on one time that was pulling around their little boat that they had. It just kept pulling it around. They never actually got to see it, but it was some massive something, some kind of cod or something. I don't know. I got it on the screen right now. I'm looking at Norway, right where you lived. But anyways.
We went into Oslo.
Yeah, awesome.
And you know, at the time the story is that the people that lived up further north in Norway didn't have to pay like taxes or something, because you know everybody the further north you go, obviously it's a bad winters or something. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there was going on the further north you went. But Oslo was pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of, like you said, you know, different things going on. But you know, when you're there a couple 3 days, it's just time to go. You know, because you've seen about everything.
And also, it's weird. I don't know if, I mean, countries like this are okay, but if you go to any other sort of third worldy type country, the amenities. Every time you're there for like a week, you're always like, oh god, I can't wait to get back home. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And when you know we're out there, maybe 3 months, 5 months, maybe 6 months. You know, just to get back home and sit in a chair or walk on carpet is just like wow. It's just like you've never done it before.
Yeah.
But just,
yeah, the simple things are amazing. The things that you take for granted when you're here, when you go overseas and come back, you didn't even think, you know, you realize those things, right?
In a TV, you know, holding a remote, it's just like I can't explain it. It's just like so new. It's just like wow. And then that even makes it harder to get back out there and go another 3 months or whatever it is. But that was a good time, though. I mean, I like serving the country. I like giving her 8 years, and but like I said, it was good times.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that you did that.
It was good times. I mean, you know, if I had to do it again, I would, but I'm older now, so I can't. But it was good times, though. It was good times seeing the world, seeing the different places, and you know, experiencing something that you know, because you really can't. When you look at a map, you can't really, you know, get the justification of what it really is when you're actually there seeing it.
Right.
You know,
I try to emulate it for people, like doing street views, but that doesn't really. At least you get a visualization, but being there, it's a whole different thing. When
you're going from the Atlantic into the Mediterranean, you got the Rock of Gibraltar there. You got the coast of Africa. You know, obviously back then, you know, Libya with Gaddafi and his little point of his line of no return deal when he had that going on. But, you know, all that is, you know, kind of, you know, really puts it in perspective. You know, even going through the Suez Canal, it was just like you walked on the side of the aircraft carrier on the flight deck, and you could, like, if you wanted to, you could almost like jump off the side and land in the sand on either side. It was that tight. But like I said, it was a good experience, good times, and like I said, you get to see a lot of the different places, and you get to collect their currencies when you're there and different things. So it's always kind of like I said, it was a good time.
Yeah. Well, it gives you a good chance to travel the world, but something you might not ever do once you're done doing that. Being in the military.
Right. And not for the price that I did it the first time. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it ain't much, but like I said, though, there's a lot of water out there.
Yeah. Well, just looking at the map, the Earth is mainly water.
Yeah, it is. It's what, about 70-some% water, is it?
There's even something like that. And there's one view that you can't see anything at all. You can't see land at all looking at the globe from a certain angle. I was listening, I can't remember which one that was, but when you pull out right now I'm traveling on a street in Basefjord on the screen, by the way. There's just the fjord's covered with ice. You literally can't see the water. It's so cold. Norway is just that's why they always win in the Olympics, because snow to them is like dirt for us, like, oh yeah, I run the roads, but they ski,
Yeah, they got, like I said, they have a lot of discipline, a lot of, it seems like a lot of focus people that I met over there, as the U.S. is, don't really have that same kind of focus of all the times, or, and like I said, that's what another thing kind of worries me. I feel China is coming, and they might not be friendly when they get here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's some. We have so many lazy people, and nobody's really aware of anything. They're just kumbaya. Oh, everything's gonna be fine. If we shake their hands. But other countries don't think the same way towards us.
And that was another thing that was kind of disturbing to me after 9/11 and after all that happened and all those issues and everything. And then some guy hijacks a plane the other day.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Just some worker there.
We didn't learn anything or something. What is going on?
I know. Now then it makes you wonder, gosh, what if he could have just flown that plane right into a building. Thankfully, he was just sort of, he didn't have any nefarious extra, meaning to what he was doing. He was just disturbed, and seems like he wanted to sort of have one last jolly. And but it's crazy that he was able to do that. Like, how did he learn? Yeah. It's weird. Yeah, because what if it wasn't that guy? Let's say it was actually literally ISIS or somebody that was pretending to be on the grounds crew, and they're the ones that took that plane. They would have flown that thing right into a boat or a building or something. So.
I mean, to me that was just like, oh my goodness, are we still that relaxed?
Yeah, that's a huge breach of something. I'm not even sure what just absolute cluelessness. Like something almost like they didn't even think of that angle or something,
Oh, I was just like, how can that happen again? How can that go on? I mean, really, it's just, to me, it's just kind of really just very, very bad that I know it's a bad way to live when you got to have your head on a swivel. But, that's just what it is today, whether you're looking out for yourself or you're looking out for whatever, that's just how you got to play it today.
Yeah, definitely.
But
it's not like it used to. Yeah, go ahead.
But like I said, I heard you, listen to you, I've heard you a big Blazer fan.
Yeah, huge.
And I'm a big sports nut myself, and I probably maybe put some money on some of the stuff. But I'm a Celtic fan. I've been a Celtic fan for a long time. So
yeah, you guys beat us there just on a miraculous last second shot by who's that? Alford or what? Well, who's the center guy? What the hell's his name?
For the Celtics.
Yeah, well, he's kind of like a power forward center type. Like, it's not Alford. Not what the hell's his name? Yeah, he's kind of a journey. He's been around for a while. He's a pretty good player, but. Anyways, yeah, he just made at the buzzer. He made a shot to win by 1. It was like, this last year. I was on a golf trip listening to it just before we played. It made my round suck. The way that ended.
Okay. Yeah, you know, that kind of things do kind of affect the life, you know.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I haven't missed a game. I have not missed a Blazer game. For God, I don't even know, like 30, like I don't even know how many years. I'm sure I've missed a game because I had to do something. But if I could watch it, I haven't missed a game since, gosh, like 30 something years. I mean, it's crazy. You know,
well,
I'll find it.
Yeah, the Blazers had some good squads back in the 70s with Jack Ramsey and Bill Walton.
Yeah, those were great. Those teams right there. If you go watch them play now, you can find them. I actually made there was an album made called the Blazer Mania album, and it took all the highlights from the World Championship run, and Bill Schonely, the announcer, did an album. So I have that album, and then I found the clips. They actually played the games for some reason on Comcast, so I recorded it, and then I found the little clips of the audio that they had, and then I put together a video, and it's on YouTube. It's
right.
But that teams don't play anywhere near that kind of quality basketball anymore. It's like that was incredible. The passing, the cutting, and all that. Now it's just, you know, isolation. You know, who can make the best move and jump up in the air, and you know.
And now it's just a 3-point shooting contest in the NBA.
Yeah, kind of. It sucks.
Everybody's jacking up threes. It's no post moves. It's no power moves. Geez, I don't think poor Maurice Lucas would be able to fit in this kind of game anymore.
No, yeah, especially now that you can't fight, and that's what's on that tape too, is the fight with Dawkins and Lucas. That video that I made. Yeah, it was. Lucas just passed away 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that's right. But he was quite the enforcer back in the day.
Yes, I have that Sports Illustrated in my drawer, where it says it's called The Enforcer. Yep. It's good stuff.
It's like I said, the Blazers are kind of on a, what is it, like a lost 12 straight in the first round in the playoffs or something?
Yeah, we keep having to play like the Warriors, and yeah. Well, we made it to the second round 2 years, but then we always end up playing the Warriors and get blown out. So.
Right. It was kind of surprising this past season when they lost to the Pelicans. I didn't see that coming, but
yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't either, but we had some injuries, and then the Pelicans were just absolutely on fire. I've never seen a team shoot better, even with good defense, just right in their face, you know. But anyways, let's see.
But,
I was thinking I'm not sure. I don't know if there's anybody else that wants to even call in. I'm trying to figure out if there's... it doesn't look like anybody's really interested in the crime stuff right now.
Everybody lost their mojo, huh?
I don't know. When I look at the comments, everybody's just randomly talking about all kinds of different things. But, yeah. Well, maybe during the season you'll have to call back in and we can do a... You can tell me how your Celtics... how they're doing now that they got their two best players back. Apparently they're back.
Right. Like I said, the catalyst of the Celtics is Brad Stevens.
Yeah,
I think he is the best. I think he is the best person on that team.
Yeah, he's a good coach. He's definitely
makes everything work like it's supposed to. Right. So I think they'll be fine if they don't lose him.
Well, I agree. So don't let him go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But one last question on this Mollie deal. how in your mind, how much longer do you think this plays out?
Oh gosh, I'm hoping tomorrow that we get a little bit of some kind of information. But I literally have no idea. There's no way of guessing something like that, to be honest with you. Hey, it looks like somebody named Sarah wants to call in. Are you gonna? Let's see. So do you listen to a lot of these lives that I do on the
yeah, I do. I think you do a great job. You really strike a chord with me. I like following you, and I like listening to your theories, and you know, you make a lot of sense in this crazy world. So.
Oh, cool. You don't mind my humor and the way I talk to people sometimes?
No. Well, I heard you say the other day that you're a Libra.
Yeah, yep.
I'm a Gemini, so we're kind of compatible.
Yeah, well, that's what my wife is, a Gemini. Yeah, and 2 or 3 different girlfriends that I've had have been Geminis. I'm not sure why it's like that, but.
What's the date of her birthday?
I'm not going to tell you her birthday. Are you kidding? No, but it's she is a Gemini, though. I can't give out her. I'm not going to give out her personal information.
Okay.
But you know.
No, mine's on the 21st, so.
Yeah.
That means. But
let's see.
But yeah, like I said, I really like listening to you. I really like what you do, and the theories and how you keep it real. The Kendra Jenkins story was cool about how you went back and you proved that there was nobody else there, and she was the only one that was involved in that. And
yeah,
just interesting.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that was just somebody had to be the voice of reason in that case. That's the problem. There's so much insanity. I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. So even today, like I come back from golf and there's 100 messages, about 30 of them are like, "Oh, you're just kind of calling me racist names and you're just trying to cover up for the hotel and you work." I still get those every single day. Yeah, it's crazy. It's wacko.
Oh yeah, that is true, because you do see a lot of different stuff and hear a lot of different things, and it's just fun. And it's good just to hear somebody that uses common sense and just keeps it real.
Well, thanks. That's what I try to do. Some people don't like it. Some do. Yeah. All right.
Well, it's been great talking to you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for calling in, Gary.
Yeah, no problem, Greg.
Yes, it'll be easy to remember.
Yeah, we'll keep everybody straight.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Where's the Sarah? The phone's not ringing. Yeah, you can talk about anything. If I don't know about the case, I'll tell you. Go, Sarah. Go, Sarah. No, I wasn't really paying attention to who was saying much in the chat. I was looking at the screen over here. Yes. If you don't call in within 5 seconds, there'll be no more calling. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5. Yeah. Come on. That's how they always do it on the shows. Oh, that would have probably made it. I would have kept doing fractions. Hello, this is Gray. Oh, God. Hello, this is Gray. Hello? Oh, boy. Oh boy, you got to turn down that audio.
Hello? Hey! Oh boy. Oh boy, you got to turn down that audio.
You heard me 3 times. Okay, you have to call back. Hello? Okay. Yeah, I was like, I couldn't figure out how to deal with that one there. That was Amy though, but I couldn't figure out how to work it. See, you had my audio. When you call in, just like every freaking... Now I know what those radio shows meant when they... Hello? Oh.
You had my audio.
Hello?
Just like every freaking... Now I know what those radio shows meant.
See, now I hear myself. Man, do you hear that? That's so crazy. I mean, listening to myself. What I'm saying is it's just like those radio shows. You know when you call those... every time you listen to a radio show, they always say, okay, please turn down your radio. Right? Yeah, so that's what you do. When you call in, you got to turn down the audio and then just use your phone, because if you don't do that, there's a feedback loop that we just heard. Oh boy, here we go. All right. Hello.
Hi, Gray. I'm here, Jim Conrad. I just had to turn down my audio.
Oh, it says Amy's. It says Amy on there.
Yeah, it's my girlfrind.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
How's it going?
It's going great. Yeah. Well, I want to talk about the Las Vegas shooting.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because that still has me pretty perplexed, and we're not going to get any information, obviously, from anybody on that, and that's a good topic.
Yeah, I did make one video on that one.
Okay, I'll have to look.
But it was just really, somebody was trying to claim, oh look, listen, there's a second shooter. Do you hear that? And what they did was they tricked people by playing the recoil of the first volley, and then made it sound like that was something far away, and then all of a sudden and then they play the close shots. And what they didn't do was play the original volley that matches the recoil, not the recoil, the what do you call it? Sort of the echoing, the quieter sound from the guns. So the part that's weird to me is just the whole hotel part. Like, how did he get in there, and that kind of stuff. But when I started seeing these people make the videos with the, oh, you hear that second gun? See how it's quieter? It's bogus. You know, totally bogus.
The independent media guys blew up on that.
He blew up on that?
No, the independent media guys. Easy to say.
Yeah. What'd they do?
Oh, well, you're talking, I mean, Jake Morphonius, Jason Goodman. These guys really hit that hard.
Yeah, I mean, even there was...
on YouTube.
Right, and so because they know that sells. Like, if you start saying, oh, no, there was just one shooter. Yeah, there's this one guy that made this entire, like, some special forces guy. That's probably one of the guys you just mentioned. And he came up with this whole thing about, oh, there's a second shooter. Listen to this. Listen to this. But I guarantee it. Like, if you watch the way I'm just a lay person, but I put together the video, and it just, I know exactly why and what was going on. I mean, I actually used Google Earth going through there, and then I used this, like, the angle that sound would hit the building at, given where the car was. I knew exactly where the taxi cab was, you know, the famous taxi cab. So I tracked it all the way in Google Earth, and then did, like, how sound travels, the arc out there, and you can see that at certain points you wouldn't be able to hear it very well, based on where the window was to where the cab was, and all, you know, it just all made sense to me, that part of it. The part that doesn't make sense is all the hotel sort of strangeness. Like, nobody, and also there's no details about anything. Nobody knows why or anything about it.
And a 65-year-old accountant is not physically capable of doing that. I don't care if he's 6'5", tall. He's not capable. He never was physically capable of pulling that off with all these guns.
I don't know. It looked like people were bringing him up, and
Now there were definitely multiple shooters, and they were on the ground.
oh, see, now when you say definitely, that's when I don't keep having a conversation, because it's like there's no proof at all. I know you watch those other videos and say that, but I've just been watching the, you know, I heard the volleys and the echo, the shot, and then it would go like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the exact same thing. I'm not a gun expert.
Right. I just don't do the, you know, I know conspiracies exist.
Theories. No.
Yeah, this is a crazy. This one's not really. For me, it's just people wanting to believe something, you know. And you listen to somebody who explains it well. It's like the 9/11 when there was those movies like 9/11 Inside Job or these other ones, and they make it sound like, wow, that's really legit. And then I watched the entire debunking video on those shows, and it's just wow, completely explained everything, absolutely clearly, not with, well, that's just their opinion. It's like literally factually true what the debunking was. So now I haven't seen one on that yet, but I did make the one I made, and I just don't believe at all that there was other shooters running around, and you know, you know, I don't know how to prove it or disprove it either. That's the problem.
And you don't believe there was any cover up?
Well, I think that there's something. That's the part that's weird. You know, that's the part that's a little bit weird, is the how little information they're putting out. There's no reason why. I don't really know much about the guy's background. Like where I remember, I used to know where he worked and stuff like that, but now I can't remember. I've just moved on. It's one of those cases that'll go on forever and ever and ever, never be solved, and the conspiracies will just get wilder and wilder. Soon there'll be aliens landed on the roof and shot a laser beam down and knocked people out, and they didn't realize that there was, you know. Well,
now that's
maybe
an
not.
Interesting one.
Ah, see, look, see.
Now, I've never heard that one.
I know, but see,
That's
now it's
a
going
good
to go
one.
out there. Now it's going to go out. See?
You've uncovered something. Okay, so let's quickly transition out of the Las Vegas thing, because I don't think anybody wants to hear about that. Obviously, nobody's reporting it anymore. The biggest mass shooting in the country, and nobody really seems to care.
I thought it was crazy, though. I remember watching it. I think that's when I first saw Lookner, that Steve Lookner guy, do a show, was on the Las Vegas shooting. It was pretty crazy. Just all the different little clips that kept coming out here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying, let's put it this way. I'm not saying that there isn't a conspiracy on some levels in that case. The problem is there's no way to prove any of it at all. And so talking about it's sort of just rabbit hole stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like you could tell me something and a minute later, I mean, how am I supposed to believe what you're telling me, right? There's no facts or anything. It's just, I don't know.
And look at the conspiracy from the get-go between the Las Vegas Metro and the FBI. How they looked like they were working together, but they were maybe not working together very well.
Yeah.
Okay, as I said, quickly transition.
Yeah, I don't have anything against you bringing that up.
Back into Mollie. I got really engrossed in that story.
Yeah.
And now I'm engrossed in the Mollie thing, and I don't know. I think in the next week to a month we'll be done with that. I'm still thinking she's run off with maybe not so much of a loser as Dalton Jacks. And she's going to live happily ever after.
Well, what makes you think he's a loser? Just because he lives in the... See, I did say that. I said maybe she's met somebody in college, and she seems to be trying to go somewhere where maybe Dalton perhaps is sort of wants to stay local and do the construction thing, but maybe she wanted to move on, so she met somebody. But then you think, well, gosh, then why did she just leave the dogs there? Why did she leave her phone there? You know, all that stuff, you know.
Because
Yeah.
she could leave it up all behind and pick up and go somewhere else.
But how though? Like, what would be her means
She could
of
leave
living?
the country.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, how would she keep herself afloat? Just quickly get a job and that paid tips or something? And
What was some of that that she was doing the homework on, the studying the ancient anthropology?
I don't remember exactly.
Or what
I
it was.
remember there was the topic, but I can't remember what it was. Maybe somebody in the chat. Does anybody remember what the subject matter she apparently was studying on her laptop? Apparently,
She doesn't play around with a construction worker for the rest of her life.
Yeah. Well, she seemed to care about him.
Yeah,
You know.
that's how high school crushes go.
Well, she was like 20 something, and she was staying at his house. I don't know. They seem to care about each other, but I did think of a similar, you know, scenario. If they're thinking she's alive and she left with somebody, perhaps that she knew, then couldn't that person she knew be somebody that wasn't the lifestyle that she's currently in? It was something that maybe she wanted to be, you know, like where she wanted to go, and maybe it offered more. I don't think she would just leave on her own, though. Just sort of get up and sort of jog out of town one day, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense.
I'm just wanting my theory to be different than everyone else's. So I'm gonna
Well, it
keep
is
hitting
different.
on that.
Well, that is no.
I'm
It's
trying
okay.
to strike a new chord here.
Yeah. I've mentioned something very similar to that early on, but you know, it's one of those things where I kind of thought, well, you know, why there's things that sort of contradicted it a little bit. You know, how about this? Why would you leave your glasses and contacts? Like, what purpose would that be to leave those behind? If you were just trying to leave your life behind, you know, that's just sort of a necessity. Can you? What do you think about that?
I don't wear glasses, never have.
Well, I'm just wanting to see if you can
relate.
explain that a little bit. Like, see if you can.
I'm trying to put myself in their shoes, as they keep saying, and if I can't relate to it, then it's going to be difficult for me. I'm a 44-year-old guy that's never been married and never been in a long-term relationship, so I can't relate to a lot of things. I work a fast food job, and I'm happy living by myself, so I come home from work and I drink my beer and relax, and now I'm starting to get into listening to you, and I like that you've done the call-ins. And I'm from the Midwest, and I've traveled around. I've been from coast to coast and back again. But yeah, I think she could be more evil than anyone even knows. All these comparisons to Jodi Arias.
Well, there's a picture of Jodi that looks very similar, but looking like somebody. There's a lot of people that look like Ted Bundy, but you know, aren't Ted Bundy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. There's people that look like Tom Cruise. I'm just kidding.
The cheesiest actor of all time.
But the thing is, you don't want to be like Tom Cruise. It's not like Tom Cruise is this great guy. He's an idiot. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
So that's your theory. Like, you think maybe she? Because I mean that's something that I did mention, crossed my mind, just as sort of a possibility. If we were saying that she's alive, that maybe she didn't. I mean, everybody in here knows that I was talking about that, but it's not like something I'm really believing. But I said that she maybe went to college, and while she's at college, she met people that are so much more quote worldly than Dalton, perhaps, and maybe she was communicating with one of these people quite a bit or something, and you know, maybe they sort of convinced her and they just went off together. But then you ask, well, geez, then why would she leave her contacts and her glasses just sitting around at home, you know, and only leave with your cell phone and Fitbit, for example? Like, why bring a Fitbit, you know, on a, so
yeah. So
that's where I get kind of stuck on that theory. I get trapped and I back out of it, you know.
Alrighty then.
What about you? No, come on. You
No, I'm done.
Okay.
I'm ready for Sarah to call.
Well, hey.
She wanted to as well. So
what was your name again? What's your name again? Because I was trying to write them all.
Jim Conrad.
Oh, Jim Conrad. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna end the call and come back to YouTube.
Well, hey, I appreciate you calling in. Well, we've got your theory down. It's on record.
The initial problem where I couldn't get it muted in time, I was trying to get in there before Sarah. You were doing the countdown and putting the pressure on me.
Yeah, I got it all to 1.5. I'm glad you snuck that one in.
Well, I couldn't mute my YouTube in time, so I just shut the whole damn thing down.
Yeah, but what was weird is somehow we were like still connected, and I was talking and it kept echoing in, and then I finally, I think, God, it was weird. And then I hung up. I think we were connected twice or something.
We were, because I couldn't still get YouTube muted in time. Finally did. I finally just closed it out. Yeah. So I'm gonna end the call and go back to YouTube and continue.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. It was interesting. One day though, if I do get into the Las Vegas thing, we'll have you back on and we'll see if we can figure some things out. All right.
We cannot figure any of that out, but
right. Okay. Well,
we can try.
All right. All right. Good talking to you. Yep. See you later. All right. Where's Sarah? Hey, you guys are gonna have to wait a minute. I gotta make a little visit to the TMI zone. Hey, I thought I heard somebody dialing. I definitely could hear somebody dialing there. Yes, I wasn't. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm back now. I hear you on the line. Are you there? Okay, forget it. What's the deal? Somebody calls, I answer it, and it goes boop, hangs up right away. Had to get my wife some water and use the facilities, if you don't mind. Jesus. No, there was no loaf being pinched, okay? Jesus. Yes, I washed my hands. Thank you. More of a rinse. Yeah, so somebody dialed in and it just, right when I hit the answer, it just went bloop like that. Not too bad, Gene. Haven't seen you around in a while. Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of drama going on up in there. I was thinking of doing a catheter. Okay. So who's calling in next? Was that you, JoJo, that tried calling? No, I'm not really interested in the Ebola conspiracies. Because there's really, you know, we could just spend all day going, oh, well, the Ebola was spread by the, I just combined Ebola and E. coli together in one sentence. Ebola. Yeah, you like that one? Look at that, man. Christine just slapped herself in the face. Do you see that? Right in the forehead. Wait, you want me to look at the Sandy Melger case? Is it Melger? Or, let me see. And what do you mean by it wasn't you? See, just the fact that you said that makes you suspicious. Yes, Anno, I'm always... what do you mean? When I'm doing this show and I have call-in, you're not going to be getting the attention. I do look in there, but I'm not going to interrupt the caller and say, hold on a second. Anno, what are you talking about? You know, that's ridiculous. But actually, reading some of the comments people were making, I was like, wow, that's so rude. And yes, I know that some of you think I'm rude sometimes. But it's my show. Yeah. Gary Eastburn. Hey, another Gary. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at that one of these days. All right, Lisa. So who's calling in? Listen, you guys have heard me on the phone when a caller calls in. I'm not mean to them, all right? Even Jim, I wasn't mean to, all right? I don't know. Are you in here all the time, Snow, every day? I haven't seen you very much. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just your icon isn't catchy. You know. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. You know. Make sure you hit that notification bell. You guys know where that is, right? Because apparently a lot of you aren't getting notifications. Yeah, Lisa came on one time. So we'll do this again. Mollie Tibbetts. She gets dropped off. by Jake. Not Blake, but Jake, her brother, at 5:30. Then at 7:30, she's seen jogging right here. But just prior to jogging, she texted her mother, who lives right here. So imagine text signals going back and forth. Mother, daughter, mother, daughter, mother, daughter. Well, Gray, how do you know she wasn't walking for a little bit and texting, then went running? You're right. So let's say she was walking. She's in this area, texting. Then she goes running, and then either went this way or that way, the guy said, because he saw her running right by here. Then later, she's seen again running this direction by Devin Riley, and she's running this way at about 8 o'clock. So a half hour after she was seen here, she was running. So maybe she ran up like this, then down this street and this way, and sometimes she walked, sometimes she ran, who knows, right? So this is the last known sighting of Mollie. 8 o'clock p.m. on the 18th. Now, where did she go from here? Did she run this way? Did she go in this weird industrial area here that maybe doesn't... Let's see what it looks like over here. I think this is where they do a lot of those interviews. Down this street right here. Yeah. Yep. This is where there was one of the interviews with, I believe, the father and Dalton was right here. Yep, and there's been a lot of crazy information out there talking about how the laptop was being used for homework late at night. And then that was reversed. Then there was a Snapchat image sent by Mollie to Dalton, the boyfriend, at 10 o'clock at night, but we don't know when it was sent, but he opened it at 10. Then there was mention of a red shirt missing that she was going to wear to work the following day, because that's actually a work uniform. See, that's one thing that we were discussing early on was, oh wow, she was supposed to wear that specifically for the fair and the kids, but it turns out that was just her work uniform. So the mother said, oh, we couldn't find the work uniform. We couldn't find the work uniform. Then later said, oh, well, we did find the two that I knew about, but I'm not sure if she had a third one, which is really weak evidence of there being a third one. Really weak. But then a lot of people, to make it fit their story, will say, oh, well, you know, a lot of people do that. You know, they'll have a second shirt. Oh, come on. Just go with what... The reality is they found the two shirts that they knew about, and she probably did not have another one. That's the reality of it. I'm not sure there isn't a... after our talk? Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there was another shirt. I just think the fact that the mother said, oh, I think there's a shirt is missing. I think there's a shirt missing. We can't find it. And then later said, oh, well, I found the two that I knew about. But, you know, there could have been a third. That's just really trying to... wow, you haven't been subbed already, Gene? But thank you. My God. Yeah. What case do I know you from, Gene? I remember we used to communicate. I just don't remember. There's so many people now. Yeah, just now, huh? Yeah. So when I look at it, I look at it as if the mother was trying to add some hope or something about the red shirt, but then later tried to still say, well, there could have been another one. But then you had these people claiming that a red shirt from the same little school was found by the pig farms. So what's the deal with that? If there is a shirt that was found there that's not Mollie's shirt, then it was planted there by somebody else. There's no chance in hell that's just some random person that worked there just happened to throw their shirt off the side of the road there, right where they had already had ping information and searched that area. So if there is another shirt from that daycare center and it's not Mollie's, then somebody put it there as a plant. No doubt about it. Wouldn't she own a shirt if his ex-wife was, I don't know. Yeah, people said, but why would she throw the shirt on the side of the road, Lori? I mean, let's say that guy's wife did work there. Like, we always hear all the stuff. There's no proof of any of it at all. They say, oh, that, what the hell is that guy's name? The weirdo, the guy the pig farmer guy? Cheney, yeah. And I said it just now, but here comes Cheney 15 times. So he said Cheney apparently had some relative that worked at this place, right? But why would the shirt be on the side of the road, like in the weeds? How come? Yeah. There's like literally nothing solid in this case. The only thing that's mildly solid is that she was dropped off at her house at 5:30. Even the witnesses that saw her run aren't probably 100% sure. Although I'd imagine that police have sort of backed up that information with ping information, since at the time she had her cell phone and maybe some earbuds in. Oh, over there on Straight Drop. Okay, yeah. I was trying to figure out where I knew Jean. I mean, I've seen her. That's where I've seen her before, but I wasn't sure if we knew each other before that. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I like all the people that watch my videos. I can't sit there and say I'm friends with everybody because I don't know a lot of the people that type. Right? Like, I don't know. I've never even seen you before, Mike. So. Alright, let's see. Hello, this is Gray.
Gray, it's me, Vic.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
What's up, brother? Give me a second. Sometimes I get feedback. Hold on, give me a second. You still there?
Yep.
Okay. You know, I was doing some research when you started this live. I was trying to look and see how many people have witnessed or they said they saw Mollie running. What do you got? Do you have 4? I got 4 people.
Well, I remember there was somebody over here that was, I don't have them marked down, but they were on, near the house, right? And he's the one that said, and they also told me that she was at home that night doing homework. She made it back home.
Give me a second. I'm going to put a link I'm gonna put a link. I think this is the one you're talking about because that's what I was doing some research on right now.
Yeah, the main ones I have are the guy that saw her jogging here. He was on a deck when he was being interviewed, and then there's another guy, Devin Riley.
See that link?
Yeah.
That's that. I think that's that guy, Dave Colum. I don't think he witnessed it. I think he's the one that the cops came to his house, and they said, "Hey, the Fitbit tracker said that she ran in front of your house." I don't know if it was going out or coming back in. I think it was coming back in. If you see right there where it says neighbor Dave Colum.
Yeah, but then right here it said, at the end it says, he said investigators told him she was doing homework on her computer later that evening. See, when you hear that, then you start going, well, crap, then she did make it home. But
Exactly.
how do we know what he's saying? I mean, I've read this a million times. But how do we know what he's saying? I don't know. That does sound like he's repeating something that the mother said, though. That's the thing. It kind of corroborates what the mother said. And that's when we said, okay, let's go with that. But then, like, the next day, the mother said, well, I think she was taken while jogging. You know? So I'm kind of wondering sometimes are the police having some of the people retract things on purpose because they didn't want that out? Like the mother said the computer, and then this guy said, about the computer. Now, did the police just say that to him to throw him off? Or, were the police and the mother both being truthful to these people, but then once it got out, they didn't want that out because that then changes the timeline of her being back home. And maybe they wanted to get some people trapped up. But if that's out there known, then somebody can make an alibi that fits that time frame of later, You know what I mean?
Right.
Like somebody might say, well, gosh, I was running at 7:30. I was here, but at 9 o'clock I was at a movie with friends. And then they say, well, let me go check to see if you really were at a movie with friends at 9 because that's really the time that we're looking for. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I have. Give me a second. I got this other link.
Does it say where this guy lives?
That guy there?
Nah.
I did find it. Give me a second. I'm gonna give you a link, and it's like right by the house.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think I even had that at one point. But
I'm giving you the link right now. There you go. There it is, right there. Did it go through? Oh, give me a second. There.
Yeah, Daro's a friend of mine. I just don't know everybody, Mike. See, Mike said, I'm friends with everybody in here. Yeah, I mean, I like everybody, that I talk to and that are normal, but I mean, I'm not friends with every single person who makes a comment. I'm more discriminating, like I have to talk to somebody. I'm talking to people in the chat, by the way. So do you put that other link? Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that link I just sent you, man.
Okay, so
the white pages one.
All right. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess.
That's where this guy lives.
Yeah.
And if you look at your map, it's like
it's like
really
right next
close
to your house.
where the house is at.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was pointing a few minutes ago. Like he's early on. Like they probably are asking him because he is one of the few homes. He's the. Let's see. 1, 2. He's the third closest home to the house. This is a work here, and he's right there. So maybe I'll put up this here and say he. Well, hell, his name's in the article, so I can use it. What's his name again?
Dave Colum, Collum.
Ah, crap. Collum?
Collum.
Okay. And then I'm going to put, says police said she was on laptop at night. Yeah. So what did they? He didn't say he saw her though, right?
No, if you read the article, it says that he normally sees Mollie run by his house, but this time he didn't. But the cops came to his house and told him that they were following the Fitbit tracker, and that it showed that she came by the house.
Yeah, I mean, because she would run down. Well, let me look at that. How does that work? Yeah, I mean, because she went that direction. You know, she ran down the street right here. You know, because a minute later, she's seen down here. And this is so basically, I mean, it makes sense, right? So we can just do Mollie's initial run here. It's just like this. Yeah, she goes running, and that's the guy's house right there. So she's running, and then they asked him, because he lives right there, did you see Mollie? And then she just kept running down the road here. And then she's seen again at the end of the road.
You would turn right there. So you're saying she ran by Bates' house on the way back?
No, it's just right here. Look, this is where she lives. She just runs a straight line, and that's his house right there. And then all the way to here, and that's when she was sighted by that other person at 7:30. It's just a straight shot.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes out of the house and just starts running. And that house is, it's right next to the road. I mean, not right next to it, but 50 feet away. And then.
So you think when the cop said that the Fitbit tracker took him, said that she ran by their house, was not in front of the house, on the side?
Yeah, I mean, you think he went like this? Because what's funny is that actually matches the ones that I deleted. That those two kids, one that said, "Oh, I saw her at 5:30." They were right on this street right here. But I would think that right by here is what they're talking about. It didn't have to be in the front of the house. It just meant like it ran right by your house. Because look at that. It's only
right.
Let's see. It's 60 feet. It's not far at all. I mean, you think he would have to be in the front of the house, so ran by the side, because maybe he was outside. He could be doing yard work or anything.
Right.
Let's see what the front of his house looks like.
Well, did you know about this? Let me post another link. Do you know about this guy here? I don't remember this guy at all, but this is another one I got. This is besides the other two we found, but hold on, let me put the link on there.
Daily Mail.
You see it? Did it go through?
Yeah, it's Daily Mail, right? Like.
Now, if you scroll down, there's like a couple of maps.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. One of them actually, I think right there it says July 18, 7:30, the first map. On the top. So you scroll to your right there.
Yeah, right here, right? Yeah. Well, I've seen jogging. Yeah, that's where we got the. Well, that looks like a little different. But see, that's what I'm saying. But you can't go by Daily Mail when they draw a map and a dot.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let you know that because I've done in the Delphi case. They had a map. They had the body location in a totally wrong spot, and they just point arrows out. That's correct here. That's where she lived. Let's just pull up the. How about
Can you pull up that guy's address on that website you got?
Yeah. Well, which guy? Which one are you talking about?
If you go back to that map, check that map out real quick, Greg.
No.
Back to the Daily Mail.
Yeah, I'm on there. Yeah.
Nate Howood.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, because I don't think I like you said, these guys are putting him way out there. I think he lives over there by Dave Cullen.
Yeah, let me see.
Because where they're pinpointing it is where the third guy saw the one with the boat. Remember we found the one with the guy had a boat on the front. That looks like in that vicinity right there.
Yeah. Just a second. Nate Howood. It might have been like Nathaniel, you know. Is that really the right name? There's not even one Howood anywhere. Well, actually, well, let me try it. Let me try this one. Actually, I think I'm going to use this different one. This is better. I'm sure it's there. I think that other one's something else. No. I've never even heard of the name Howood before. Okay, there's some. Let me type in Brooklyn. No. Is there a second page? No. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the right. Nate Howood.
Yeah, see, well, I don't know if that's a typo or because I couldn't find it anywhere else.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's daily, you know, Daily Mail. Sometimes they just bust something out, and you're not going to be. I wonder if it's Hogwood. You know, I mean, that sounds weird.
Somebody in chat saying Hopwood. Is there Hopwood?
I'm going to try Hogwood.
Okay.
I don't know, for some reason Hogwood sounds like something. Because it would just be like, oh, we forgot the G kind of thing. There's no Hogwoods in... Yeah. Sounds like I was doing something right out of Harry Potter or something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopwood?
Everybody in chat keeps saying Hopwood. Let's try that.
Why does everybody keep typing that in? Like 100 people. Like one person says it, so they go, no Hopwood! No Hopwood! No, she said Hopwood, as if all of a sudden that's...
I don't know. Yeah. I could not find that name anywhere else.
Yeah, there's no Hopwoods either. Okay.
Because I found they call them from that article, and then I found obviously the one we talked about where that guy was out talking.
I guess there is a Nate Hopwood, but the word name Hopwood didn't even show up, so that's kind of weird. Okay, let's see if this is it right here. I think this might be it, because this is Brooklyn, Iowa, right?
Oh, I see one right there.
No, Hopwood! No, it's Hopwood! Man, that was crazy. Like, just let one person type it in. Okay, so that's way over there. Let me go back to my other one. Get the other address. I know somebody typed in an address, but I'm going to... See, this could be... Well, there's an old person... This one's 40. So it's probably this person right here. So maybe... 529 West Pershing. That one. Since that's Brooklyn, right? I'm not sure if you can see my screen, but...
No, I'm watching it, great. Where's that?
See, this one kind of reminds me of the spot in the very beginning. See, this is right here.
Cause I remember. See, now that does remind me of one of the first.
Yeah, I got rid of those.
Where you talked about.
Yeah, I actually deleted those. Those first. Well, maybe I didn't. Hold on. Here, look. See, that's the scene jogging by Craig Smith's house. You remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
See how close that is? And but how did she get running this way then? If
the only way I could think about it is she's coming back, and then that would be the last guy, the last article we.
Yeah, but the guy said here's what the guy said. She was running by his house, and she either went north or south. So that means she had to have been running this way. And then he doesn't know if she went this way or that way because he just saw her run by the front of her house. Right?
Right.
So, oh, you mean like this? Then she went like this. And then maybe back up again. And then later went running again all the way down here. I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense. You know?
Yeah, you can see even now Craig Smith, that would be like a fifth sighting then, because I only got 4. I got Devin Riley. I got the. Hold on, these are the 4 I got. Give me a second. Dave Cullum, well, he wasn't actually sighting. The cops came to him and told him that the Fitbit tracker took him in front of the house.
Yeah, somebody just said, who lives at 800? Who lives at 800 Jackson Street?
Oh yeah. Is that?
Jay, what?
Other guy,
what did Gabby do? I'm just wondering.
Roger Thompson. I think Roger Thompson is the one we found by the boat outside the house.
Let's see. Yeah, I think that was right here, right?
Let me see. I think I got an article on that one.
Yeah, because there's the boat. He was just right here. So I guess he was like on this porch over here, and then he saw her running by this way, and he doesn't know if she went this way or that way.
Yeah. So that guy is, his name is Roger Thompson.
Yeah.
So I got him, and I also got Devin Riley, and then I got Nate Hopwood. I guess that's his name.
Yeah, should put it more like right there.
You got that 5th one. You got Craig Smith. I remember you mentioning that guy, but I can't find no articles on that guy.
Yeah, it was just a post on Facebook. See, that's why you can't really, you know.
Okay.
That's why I kind of got rid of it. I left it so you could see it in case it meant something. But
so now, can you pull back on your map? Pull back away.
Hmm.
Do you think she ran straight across towards the boat guy?
Yeah, I just think she ran like this. And then maybe went up here like this. You know, because Blake's Allie Houghton lived here. So, you know, maybe she just knew the area and, you know, maybe ran back down like this and then like that. Because none of these other places, like, I don't know what they're saying on that one map that you showed where, let's see.
Right. Yeah, that one, the Daily Mail.
Crap, I can't find it.
Way off.
I can't
it's
find
nowhere
it.
near where that Hopwood guy lives.
All right, so let's just try to. Okay, this is the main road, and then there's a little jog, and then up, and they're saying right there, right? So what is that?
Yeah, that's the main road to the mom's house, that big one.
Yeah, but that doesn't look straight on the map that you gave me. The
yeah. Oh, see, well, yeah, it's broken down in
okay,
in
so it's more over here. I know where this is. That's just right there. See this? It goes down here too. And that's what we're seeing. So if you just started right here and so I think that's like right there, and then so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and then 2 over. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're saying kind of like in this area.
Right.
Well, that kind of would make sense in what I was saying, because if you came here and then ran, okay, let me just look at that one more time. I want to get it.
Yeah, right. in that quadrant right there. Yeah,
so right there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 over. So right on the edge, the road that goes there, and then down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're saying right there. That's what they're saying. That's another witness right there, apparently. But that's not where that guy's listed.
Yeah, his address is over there by Dave Cullum.
Yeah, well, Dave's over. Yeah.
With that name, I mean, obviously.
Well, I mean, that guy could have been over at somebody else's house, and that's where he saw him, you know. But I mean, yeah, like he was visiting a guy named Jim, right?
That's wishful thinking right there.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, who cares where he lived, right? But I mean, the main thing is let's say there's a witness that said, "God, I saw a robber," and then all of a sudden you go, "Well, where do you live?" "Over there." "Okay, well, that's where we're going to say you saw him then." Right? I don't really know where any of these people were. I mean, we do know that these people they were sitting on their porch, right? But how do we know where Hopwood saw? Where, you know, maybe he lived somewhere else but was hanging out, you know, I don't know, or just walking, or, you know, whatever he was doing. Hell, he could have been driving a car and said, "Oh yeah, I was right there, and this is how they're denoting," you know. But I really can't give anything to the Daily Mail. The real fine detail stuff, the Daily Mail isn't very good at. They're really good. They're good at sort of the broad picture and coming up with a lot of images that people don't have. But that's about it.
Yeah, that was my thing, because I didn't recognize that name.
Yeah, so they have it right there. Let me make sure again. Yeah, see this little shape right there? That's exactly what you see on that map right here.
Oh yeah, that's it right there.
Although it looks slightly, yeah, you see that little cul-de-sac there, but the rest of it's got a little different shape. But there's that cul-de-sac. I don't see this. Maybe that's newer. But that's the only thing that would even come close. So yeah, if they're saying here, that kind of, you know, let's say she went here, took a right, ran this way, and it was way down here, came up, you know, went down here again, and ran by Devin Riley's house half hour later. I haven't heard anything about this guy here. Do you have anybody else, or?
No, those are my. Before I got it, Roger Thompson, Devin Riley, Dave Cullum, and then that one Nate Hopwood.
Wow.
But who knows? Maybe Nate Hopwood was over there at someone else's house, like you mentioned.
I'll put his name here. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's possible, right? Because we don't have him living there, but what if Nate Hopwood saw her there? Because he was there,
right,
in that area. So that could explain it, even though that's not how they normally have witnesses, I guess.
Yeah, so those are the four sightings I've got.
Yeah. I've never heard of the Nate Hopwood one. I've heard of these three, though. This one, and this one. Riley, Rogers, and Cullum. I haven't heard of.
Yeah, and I just find it odd that Nate Hopwood lives like by Dave Cullum. His address, or Cullum, his address is like.
Yeah, it's right over here.
Like
well, I mean,
right
it's not. I don't think it's that odd
neighbor.
Because there's a lot of people that, a lot of people live next to everybody. How far away do they have to live where you then aren't? Like, it's not odd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like this guy lives here and this guy's, oh, look at that. This guy did have an address right there, it seemed like. Man, it's almost 1 o'clock. I can't believe it. I thought it was like 12.
Oh, man. No, but that's my thing, too, though. My theory, I know you and I talked about it last time. We're talking about, somebody trying to pull a ruse towards Mollie. But in this case, at this point, I don't think it's a ruse anymore. I think it's somebody she knows somebody was waiting for her in her driveway. She made it home, but she never went inside the house.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if somebody would be waiting in her driveway, if she would just be like, "Oh, hey, I don't know who you are, but yeah, excuse me for a minute."
No. No. It's not somebody that doesn't. I'm at this point. I'm saying it's somebody she knew.
Yeah, I mean they're just sitting in her driveway.
In the driveway or out in the street.
Yeah, I mean if it's somebody she knows and she's not scared,
right?
Then sure, like why not park there? You know? But there's been other people. See, a lot of people think like there's this one family that's involved in everything. So I'm not even gonna say their name, but they've already said, oh yeah, their car or something was seen on the side of the road right next to her house or something. And see, then there's all this speculation. It seems like some of this comes from that rumor. Not saying that's where you got yours, but I've heard a lot of people say.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, like in the chat, people go, "Yeah, I think you're onto something," because those are the same people that have heard those rumors. You know, the thing is, it's just speculation. You know, we don't know.
Well, there was rumors going in the chat earlier when we were talking to somebody else about her being pregnant, and pretty much what I said is, if you guys got an article stating that, well, let us see it. If not, then we need to, nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
But,
have to put,
I just wanted to give you that information that I pulled up, Greg. Those other addresses and other names that came up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I didn't see that other name. I knew about this one. Thanks, Pecan Baby, 3107.
Pecan Baby.
Yeah. Wow. Guys, tomorrow we get something.
I know last live you were asking about that.
About what
you were asking about that article in regards to, like, wasn't there an article that stated, this is what you asked last time, you're like, wasn't there an article that stated where a cop came to somebody and said, hey, the Fitbit tracker ran by your house?
Mm-hmm.
So I started digging around and I found it. I found the article we were looking for.
Yeah, I've seen that article, that exact article a few times where the guy said, but I just, I can't just pull it out at the top of my head.
Right.
But he, where he said, oh yeah, the police told me that she was at home working on a laptop doing homework late at night. So he said that and the mother said that. And then all of a sudden, that just disappeared. Nobody says that anymore. Right?
Well, I kind of, and after they started, like, downplaying her doing homework at that, on the laptop at home, I kind of just went off of just them saying, the Fitbit tracker took him in front of his house. That's what I took. That's what I went with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I think they have really good data with the Fitbit and the phone for a while.
Right.
That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't really know. Well, I think here's what's weird for me. They must kind of think she was abducted while running, because if they know that she made it home, why would they even care about, like Devin saying, oh, I saw her running by. Oh, I saw her running by, because maybe they're looking into who may have followed her or something. However, if she made it home after jogging, like I said before, the jogging itself is meaningless other than somebody may have tracked her while jogging. That's it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, so it's weird.
I don't know if you saw that article. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I don't know if you saw the article where the FBI agent was saying that they were almost 100% certain that she was probably jumped in a car with somebody she knew.
Yeah,
Did you see that article?
That blonde lady that was doing the
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's just her profiling. Yeah.
Correct.
So she's not, she doesn't know any more than, to be honest, she doesn't know anything more than anybody else. She's just basing it on, well, she, left her stuff at home and she just disappeared, and there's no signs of, there was no struggling that somebody could have heard, so it was probably a friend of hers or somebody she knew that picked her up. And that's all kind of logical stuff that we've talked about.
Right.
And it sounds like the father sort of thinks that way. Maybe the FBI has even told him, hey, maybe she's still alive. Maybe she, so he goes with that. I don't know. We'll see. I think tomorrow, hopefully, there's something in the press conference, even if it's just some. I heard that there was going to be something in it. Remember that last week or a few days ago? Somebody said that.
Yes.
Yeah, some sort of a nugget of some kind.
Well, I hope so, because they postpone it, and then not only that, this one's going to be, you would think like the only reason why they would postpone it is because they're about to give out some other information. And I hope they do.
Yeah. Well, I do too. But
at least share some of the timeline.
So I think are you going to come on? You're probably working or something, but I am going to do I think a live thing at 1 tomorrow. Cover it.
Yeah, I'll be around. I'll be around there. I'm not one to be. I was like, I'm a retired Marine, so I'm just chilling.
Thank you for your service too, man. Good job.
I'm a retired. After 21 years, I'm retired, so I'm just chilling.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, but I just chill around and listen to my true crime, read true crime. And
there you go. Yeah, that's interesting, right? It's fun, actually.
It is.
See, a lot of people get mad when you say that, like as if you're being insensitive. Hey, this is serious. Yeah, it is serious material, but it's interesting, right? That's why we do it, because it's interesting, and maybe we can help put some clarity to everything. You just never know.
Right. Yeah, like the other day when I got on, my kids were all cracking up. They were like they went on chat and they were all happy. They're like, Dad's on Great Hughes. My son always like laughs. Let me tell you something my son always does. We go out to, like, last weekend we went to the fair, and my son's like, hey Dad, you want to go with me to the bathroom? He's like, I don't want to end up on Great Hughes.
Oh, really? Oh, jeez.
I was like, bite your tongue, son.
Yeah. That's kind of cute, but it's also like, no, don't make it on to an episode, all right?
Yeah.
Or 9.
But that's my hobby. They know it's my hobby.
Yeah. It's Vic Kelly in the comments. Someone asked who's on with me.
Oh, Kelly Gray.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gray, you know how I am. Any information I get, I try to share it with you. So that's what I got. Like, even early on in your live, I was looking around. I was doing some research, and I saw that, and I'm like, wait a minute, this name does not ring a bell, because I know the other live we haven't came across it.
Yeah.
You don't think we have to care about the environment?
I'm trying to hit a link. Somebody made a comment. Oh yeah. Okay. I made the comment on a whole different thing, unrelated completely to what we're talking about, but I said, if you guys noticed that the term global warming was changed to global climate change. This is what I wrote. I said global warming was changed to global climate change when the notion of warming wasn't sustainable. Yes, the climate changes. That's what I wrote. Because the thing is, did you notice that when people used to say, oh man, it's global warming, and then all of a sudden, when it wasn't working, every single day they switched it over to, well, it's global climate change, man-made global climate change. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, yeah, but the climate does change, right? Often. Now, does man cause it? Yeah, I mean, some people say they do, but I'm just saying, I thought it was weird when they said global warming for a long time, and then they switched it to global climate change, because there was actually some things that were saying it was in the 70s when I was young, it was a mini ice age coming. That's what they said, right? Now all of a sudden it's something else. Yeah, so I don't know. I just like to, what I do is I just point out sort of hypocrisy. Well, I don't know the science and all that stuff behind it, but what I did notice was that it was called global warming for years and years, and then they changed it to global climate change. Yes, the climate does change. Yep, thank you. Thank you, you geniuses, for telling me that the climate changes. None of us knew that prior. Thank you. You know.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, don't need to rub it in my face. I know that already.
Huh? What? What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying, right?
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, well, that was pretty good. That was good acting right there. It made it sound like you were. Yeah, so you're actually saying that that's what you would say to them. Yeah, thank you for rubbing it in the face. I know climate changes. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good looking out.
Yeah. Global warming started. The climate was changing, and you know it's weird when summer turns to fall. I don't go, oh my God, was that man-made climate change? I just think, well, it was. Oh, Gray, you're so naive. How about just laugh, you idiots? I'm just kidding.
Oh man, I hear you. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I just chuckle. That's all I can do.
Yeah, it's just funny, you know. It's like it's just the amount of energy and hate and stuff that's caused by these little topics are disturbing.
Hey, man. Well, I don't know if anybody else is going to call in, or I don't know if you're going to have an interview tonight.
Okay. Hey, well, thanks for coming on. I think I'm going to end the show here in a second. Unless it looked like there was somebody that was trying to call. I can probably squeeze another one in for 5 or 10 minutes, but that's about it.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Then let me get off then. I just wanted to give you what I found, Ray.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Thanks. Appreciate it.
You actually pinpointed it.
Now I've got it on now I've got it on the screen.
I'll wait for the next one.
All right. See you later. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Vic. All right, bye. All right, I think that's about it. Somebody tried to call a minute ago, but I think I'm tired now, and it's time for bed. I just quit the phone app right there, all right? So now, even if you dial, you can't call in. All right, so where are we going to go this time on the map? Oh, before I do that, though, let's see. Hold on a second. Yes, I'm still here. Yes. I want to thank Patricia, Mood Ring, Daro M, and Pecan Baby 3107 for donating to Super Chat. And Patricia and Daro, you're always supporting me on there. More often than you should have to. But apparently my work just isn't good enough for the rest of them. I'm not really sad. I'm sorry. All right. I mean, could you imagine going to a restaurant and for 3 hours the waiter's going back and forth, and at the end of the day you say, you don't get anything. Let's see. I don't really like that look that I have here with the phone, with the black thing on there. I just thought it was easier to read on the full screen thing. Yes, Anno, it's so terrible. I've just never really liked your comments all night, though. You know what I'm saying? No, Daro's pretty cool, man. ska. Yeah, I'm just goofing around. I don't really care. Yeah, I'm just making videos, and if people want to tip or whatever you call it, that's fine. If you don't, I'll just guilt you to death. I'm just kidding. I don't even... If you watch my shows, I don't even bring it up, right? Because for me, it's a weird thing to actually bring up that part of it. It feels strange. I do have Patreon supporters too, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I like coming on anyways. I'll be here regardless. I mean, there's plenty of nights where it's just 0, 0, 0, 0, and I come back on the next night, and it's because I like to do it. It's interesting to me. Yeah, I get a lot of people there's a crew of people that come on and dislike my video. And that's okay. That's okay. Oh, you don't. Hey, look, it was just like I was goofing around a little bit. I was playing the pity party. Don't take what I said seriously. I don't really. It's not a big deal to me. Let's put it that way. I don't need it. I am trying to save up for a drone, though. Yeah, they get a small percentage. A super chat takes a pretty big chunk out. Yeah. Anyways, thanks, Vic, for the new pin locations there. And again, thank you for the super chat donations. And I am going to... Okay, who's typing it in? Well, let's see. Who's been mean all night? We'll give that person the ability to pick the country that we're going to fly around in. The North Pole, it's just white. Portland. Okay, let's do... Oh, yeah, here, I'll show you my town, all right? There we go. Portland is pretty cool. Look at that. There's the city and everything. All right, I'm gonna start it over. Here we go. Let me get rid of that. I'm gonna have to do it full screen. There we go. See, Portland's a really cool city. Look at that. As Daro says. music intensify. Yeah, I actually catch smallmouth bass right down right here. I got a big ones right there, and right in this area right there. That's where some of my smallmouth bass were caught. Okay, everybody! Anyways, thanks for showing up. Thanks for the super chat yet again. I'll say it one last time. And I appreciate everybody showing up. And I guess until next time, well, I gotta put my face on there one last time just to let you know that I do exist. See, everybody, I do exist. I am real. I'm not a robot. All right. And now we're out in outer space. Hey, all right, that was a nice smooth volume reduction there that time. I'm really proud of myself for that. I hope that you really can understand how great and difficult that was to get that volume to lower just smooth enough, all right? I always thank my mods. Okay, Summer? All right, thanks. Thanks for telling me what to say to people. Oh, I am a robot. Thank you, Summer Casey. Thank you, moderators, for doing such a great job. Thank you so much. Wow, what a great thing that is. Wow, thank you so much. Yeah, I tell them it all the time. Right? So, thank you. Wow. Never ends. Say thank you to the moderators. Thank. Well, listen. Hey, listen. You guys can't hold anything against me. It's 1:19. All right, and I was playing golf for 5 hours, and then I came home, and because I promised Daro I would do a live, I said, okay, I'll go on and do a live, and now we've been on for 3 freaking hours. Well, 3.5 now. All right. And now look at this. I keep lingering on. No, you say goodnight. No, you say goodnight. No, you say goodnight. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, please. Right? Yeah, and see that Graybot 2000 that just showed up. Send tips or case ideas. Tips just means, information on a case, not tips like super chats. I didn't want you to think I kept asking for more. No, today I shot an 80. It wasn't that great. Had I kind of lost interest at one point. But man, this one friend of mine let me borrow a couple. He has these hybrids. I have some hybrids and they weren't that great, but man, his he let me borrow a couple of his, and man, I'm gonna be getting those like right now. No, I usually shoot in the 70s, Justin. I usually shoot like 75, 76, so an 80, yeah. I bogeyed the last 2 holes to shoot an 80. So if I'd shot a 78, I would have felt okay with that, but yep. See you tomorrow at I'm actually still streaming right now, believe it or not. I'll stop streaming. All right. Until next time, everybody, be safe out there.